Might have to reset that.
Well, this one here?
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
I think the picture might be crooked. We'll figure it out in a moment.
It looks pretty straight to me.
Let me find out once I open up Facebook.
Hey, shout out to Lipinski. Malone.
Yeah.
Hey.
Toronto Talks episode 10. It's 10/10. It's October 10th. We're live. And this just happens to be episode 10.
And anybody who's been listening to us now for the last 10 weeks know that it usually takes a good minute for us to actually get sorted out.
Yeah. We're technologically impaired.
We are technologically impaired.
Yeah. But we're doing the damn thing. We're here. We're live.
Yep.
I think it is crooked.
I'd rather be live than dead.
Hey. True.
IPIV.
That's what's up.
Y'all don't know about the IPIV though.
No, what's IPIV?
Yeah.
What's explain IPIV? You always drop your shit.
IPVIZ.
What's that?
Yeah, what's that? Talk to me, homie.
It's pivotry.
Okay.
What's that?
I don't know what that means.
Pivotry?
IPIV.
Okay.
Okay.
I know pivotry. I know how to pivot. Says to do with pivoting.
Yeah, pass that.
We're breaking it down to a science.
I don't know.
Science.
It all depends. Certain words are connected. Certain words aren't.
Dustin's mad at this live stream.
Yeah. We're gonna fix this. How do we rotate?
Yo, Mike, you ever bust rhymes?
No, a long time ago.
Alright, so we're gonna finish this.
You should all bust a rhyme today. I only say that because Lipinski says drop a verse.
We're gonna delete that.
I stopped that a long time ago.
True.
It was cool.
Yeah. It's less and less cool every day. Like rapping.
Why is that? Because guys like Migos,
There we
Cardi
go.
are being successful, and Cardi's not even writing her shit. I'm not saying she didn't. I'm just saying like I posted. What I posted the other day? Yesterday actually. I go to Battle of the Ghostwriters.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Drake versus Cardi. You know what I mean? Both 8 nominations last night. It was cool.
Man,
Well, who came out on top?
How do we keep clouding Drake for the
I know.
Ghostwriter?
I'm not. I mean, look, everybody gets clowned for something.
We know he's written.
Jay gets clowned for his fucking face. Nas gets clowned for his choice of beats.
Yo, shout out to Nas and Jay-Z. We trying to get those
You know what I mean?
interviews.
People get clowned for shit all the time.
True.
People, you know, and I feel so, like, what's the guy named Buck? He's gonna
Young Buck?
He's gonna be clowned for that shit that came up if he doesn't clear it up.
Who, Young Buck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I clowned him for when he was crying on the phone with 50 cents. I'll never let that go.
No, you know that was sleazy to me.
But at the end of the day,
Are you live already on there?
grown ass man, grown ass man crying over.
Here.
Stop this, bro.
I think it's upside down over there. People watching are probably like, "What the fuck you guys do? Like, get your shit together."
Yeah.
He's a
like,
grown
what's
ass
going on?
gangster.
Is that upside down though?
Nah.
Check. Let's see what's
It looks
going on.
super.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's upside down. Why is it
It
upside
wasn't
down?
upside down to us.
Here, pass that over, Maloney. You have the wrong way. So flip it.
This way.
Yeah, there you go. Now you're finally getting it, bro.
All right.
There you go. Now we're live. Now we're ready to go.
Bear
Now we can,
pivotry.
Yeah.
now we can go back to talking smack about Pivotry and Young Buck. Unfortunately, but no, I saw something today. I don't remember who posted it on my Facebook, but they said rest in peace to I think it was like Lord Superb,
Yeah,
and they
who
said
was
that
that?
they said that he penned most of Supreme Clientele, and I was like, oh
Get
word.
out of here.
Hey, so you know, I've heard a lot of people had ghostwriters for a long time.
But Ghostface had ghostwriters?
I didn't say it. I didn't say it at all. I don't want Ghostface to come back and shoot the fucking messenger.
Yeah.
But I
Ghostface
saw
don't play.
rest in peace to, you know what I'm saying, somebody, and it was insinuated that, in fact, he was Ghostface's, you know, writer. So it is what it is.
Is it though?
What's that?
I mean,
Is
it's,
it what it is, or do we? How do we feel about this?
man, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, it's entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, it is, you know, it is what it is. If you're the best rapper, you're the best rapper. If somebody helped you write a rhyme, I don't think it really discredits you. You know, if they wrote everything for you, maybe it kind of does. But if they're just helping you out with little snippets here and there, I couldn't care.
But you literally just contradicted what you said about it. You said that he's known for penning most of Supreme Clientele.
Well, I didn't say he's known for penning most. It just that's what the picture said. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
I did not insinuate
Okay.
that. Yeah.
But
you know,
at least
whatever.
it's not Iron Man.
Whatever. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like if that is his ghostwriter, so be it, man. You know, but with Drake and stuff, man, I don't care if he's got a ghostwriter or not. I couldn't care less. Most entertainers, most musicians don't write their own music anyways. It's only hip hop.
I know we
Yeah.
can bring this like pointless argument up, but we all know this is hip hop.
Yeah, so it's like you can't use that argument for hip hop.
Yeah, but some of the greatest were
We know
built.
better than that.
Some of the greatest were built around ghostwriters. Biz Markie,
Yeah,
King
well,
was-
this
Yeah.
Marky's not really a
King was
rapper. That's
Yeah,
the
you're
whole
right.
point.
You're right. He's a beatboxer.
He's
Yeah.
an entertainer.
You're
But like,
right.
do we put Biz Markie in the list of greats?
Yo,
Put Eazy-E in the list
What
of
up, what up,
greats?
what up?
Close.
Do we put like, you know what I mean? Like,
We call them great, like maybe entertainers or
yeah, great in their own
yeah,
right, but like
yeah.
they don't go down that conversation.
Yeah,
of,
exactly.
like,
what up? What up?
Pen
So-
game. Your pen game is not. It's not even questioned because we know that it's not there.
Yeah.
Man, again, like I said, at the end of the day, it don't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like if they got a ghostwriter or not. Check the volume on that. Make sure the volume's cranked all the way up there. It should be on the side. No, that should be two knobs, two little up and down knobs.
Let's see. Shit. There we go.
Yeah.
You're all the way down.
All right, so let's
There
get the
we go.
volume turned up there so
Alright,
people can
alright.
hear us. Man,
Yeah.
I should have checked
But
that earlier.
to the last point we were just talking about, what was your biggest hip hop disappointment? Like as a fan of hip hop?
Oh man, something to think about.
My biggest hip hop disappointment.
Yeah.
I would say any artist or group that probably wasn't able to go past their first or second album. And it's not because of them, it's more because of label shit.
Why are you generalizing every group though? Like
That's basically, that's what I'm
Smiles
saying.
and Self Star deserve the second
No, no,
album.
no, yeah,
Smiles
well,
and
I'll put it like this.
Self-Star.
I mean the artists that I actually
Shout
like.
out Smiles and Cellstar.
Yeah, artists that I actually like maybe Lords of the Underground. It's not their fault. They're a really dope group.
Yeah.
And they did drop albums after that, but
Yeah.
so it's hard to be a fan of someone who may not be around.
Yeah.
9 is one of them.
Oh.
9 was fucking dirty.
Shout
Oh,
out,
yeah,
my
yeah.
dude
He had
Chase
that
Arch,
voice,
actually. I
man.
just interviewed 9 yesterday.
It's fucking just he's one of the best I've ever heard.
I get splendid if I will, get splendid if I don't.
And he can flip his rhymes. He's not
Yeah,
just
you know,
he's
he's
not,
dope. 9 was dope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. It's like it's artists like that don't get to make it, but then you got clowns like I won't say, but anyone who's a clown, it's still making money off and being a clown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the ones who are really talented, they get label deals. Shit happens.
Yeah.
End up dead. Big L. You know what I mean? Pun.
Yeah.
That's a disappointment because they're not here no more.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's almost like on like a deeper level. I remember
Yeah.
when like something just as a fan of the culture when it
Yeah.
happened or you seen it, it just like made your gut turn. Like for me it'd be like
Oh,
the Master
Bombada?
Ace battle with Boogeyman.
Okay.
I think
For
it's a
me-
Bombada.
I think for me, Yeah, the
that's one.
Bombada thing.
Bombada, that's one.
Big thing for me was the murder of Jam Master Jay.
Yeah.
That was a real like what the fuck moment for me where I was just like,
I agree, but like murders aside kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like a hip hop moment in itself.
yeah,
Like Just pulling out the rhyme book.
Yeah, that's a big disappointment.
That was a big one.
I feel you. I can't really say that I'm disappointed with a whole lot in hip hop. You know what I mean? Like shit happens. You know what I mean?
No one
Like,
ever disappoints you.
sometimes people disappoint, but I don't ever look at it like I don't take it too personal like that. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
not
It's
like
just,
it's a personal thing. It's more like, okay, you know what?
I mean, I know what you mean.
Shit.
I
Really?
know what you
Keep it
mean.
moving.
Yeah, I just keep it moving. It's like
Yeah.
sports, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people like get really, really upset, for example, when the Leafs lose in the playoffs,
Yeah,
you know?
that's
And like
true.
I get upset for about 5 minutes and I'm like, yo, they got this far, so shout out to them, and then I move the fuck on.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't invest enough into the sports like that. I mean, in hip hop, I definitely invest everything into it, but at the same time, it's just like something's gonna happen tomorrow that I can't fixate on this per se, you know, in that particular fashion. You know what I mean? Like there's always something else I can move on to, or just go and explore, or you know what I mean, look at. You know,
Yeah.
like it is what it is. Sometimes albums come out and they suck. Whatever. Something else bomb came out, you know, the next day or that same day or whatever.
True.
You know, there's a few albums that definitely disappointed me, but not to the point where I'm like, shit, this fucked me up, you know?
What was the most disappointing album as a fan?
Man, okay, most disappointing album as a fan. I didn't really like, I was interning at Koch, I didn't really like the Yin Yang Twin shit. And that was
Oh,
around
you
the
were a
time
fan
like,
of them? Like,
no, I wasn't a fan at all.
like-
and they were doing that yeah shit, the go-kart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember that shit.
Exactly, right?
Anywhere.
Yeah. And I was just like, man, what's going on here? I didn't really get it.
came out. I jammed
Shout out
that
all the
shit.
people tuning in. We're
Yeah,
just
shout out
getting the
everyone
show
watching.
started. Toronto Talks episode 10.
Shout out Wesley.
You know?
He said dope content, good setup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so this is kind of like out of the side, out of the fucking blue. But what do we think about what's his name? Khabib, whatever the fuck.
Oh, the UFC
How do you
fight.
feel about this?
Man.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah.
I say shout out to him, man.
Because, like,
I liked it.
Keep that same energy.
I liked it. I thought it was a dope fight.
Keep that same energy.
I didn't think Conor was gonna win, but I didn't think Khabib was gonna do that shit. That was
That was
dope.
wild.
Okay.
Yo, all is fair in love and war, right?
All is
Yeah.
fair in love and war, man, and that was dope.
That's
That was dope.
yeah.
It's setting it up for the rematch. I thought at first, to be honest with you, it was like, oh man, this is gonna be like the end of like this guy's career, but
Yeah.
nah, I think he's good. I think he's alright, man.
He's
I think
supporters.
I think he's gonna lose a couple $1 million, but he's gonna make like 10, 15 million.
That'll be a moment in like UFC history, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Like, you know how certain boxing fights, like, you know what I mean, go down is like
Yeah.
that'll be one of those moments in UFC.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, for sure. Like, I mean, the night was probably horrible for Dana White, but this week is probably amazing for him. He's probably getting
Yeah.
so much publicity.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, he might have to pay a little fine here and there for
Little
some
fine.
people that were there VIP or whatever. And you know, again, the night was probably like, oh man, we're gonna lose so much, but their stock probably went through the roof
Oh,
after
fuck
that.
yeah.
I heard Conor made like 57.5
Yeah, that's
million
He's been
off
making
this
a lot
fight.
of money to get knocked out lately.
He didn't get knocked out though.
Nah, but
I
you
guess
know
he
what
got
I'm
knocked
saying.
out.
I meant that like.
He tapped. He tapped.
I didn't mean it literally knocked out. I forgot when we're talking about fighting, you can't use like general terminology. You gotta be
Yeah.
specific.
Yeah.
You did not get knocked out, motherfucker.
He tapped.
I'm just
He
saying.
tapped.
I wish I
Right.
could get paid to lose at shit.
Yeah, that would be
I
great.
wish I could get paid millions of dollars.
57 mil to lose, right? That'd
Yo.
be crazy.
If I knew I could get that much money just to lose that shit in life, yo, I'd be the biggest loser. I'd just be playing back all day.
Oh wow.
I'm a loser, baby.
Yeah.
So why don't you pay me? You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
Straight up.
Yo, what up, homie? What up, Switch Down?
Is it better to be a loser or a winner?
It's better to be a winner, but if you're
Yeah.
gonna lose and get $57 million, then it's better to be a fucking loser in that particular situation.
I think it's better to be a loser to become a winner.
Yeah.
I don't think you appreciate winning if you always just win.
Yeah, you gotta take a few of those here.
Yeah, we just kind of like talk about stuff, you know, we just kind of shoot the shit, talk about Toronto, talk about politics, hip hop, whatever, you know, if you want to interact, stuff like that. I just opened up the YouTube now so I can see that you were chatting. I apologize. So we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, we're live, I think, on IG, and yeah, man, we're just trying to, you know, interact and whatnot. So,
Now
you know,
we're
shout out to the
trying
home
go live
Switch.
on UFC.
Shout out
with
to
that
Switch
money.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, shout out Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was tripping when all that was going down, man. That was hilarious. Joe Rogan was like, oh no,
What
now
about
the shit
Drake's
is going
face, though?
down.
Can we take a moment of silence for Drake's face?
Drake's
that,
face.
that should be the new sad face.
Bruh, I think that should. I think Jordan need. I think it's time to retire Jordan, man.
Oh, the Jordan crying face?
Yeah, man. I mean, as funny as that shit is, yo, what is that from? What is the Jordan crying face from?
Yeah.
Do we know the original image?
No,
Like,
you can't.
Yeah, my boys in I think someone in Boston did it, but my boys over at thecollie.com, so shout out my dudes over at the Collie. That's my
Hey.
favorite message board. They're the ones who made that shit popular, man. They're the
Really?
ones, all those smileys from that to like the wire memes and whatnot, like they made all those things popular.
who's that fucking old guy that's like always like giving that awkward smile? And it'll just be some funny ass meme like,
The old white dude?
yeah.
Oh man, I
When
don't
you
even
bend
know.
down and you shit your pants, and it's like this fucking old guy with a smile on his face. Who the fuck is that guy?
I
That
don't
guy
know,
makes
man.
me laugh. my
I think
ass
that
off.
was just like one of the stock photos that you get in a picture frame or something, and someone just
Yeah,
kind
it
of
kind
took
of does
that.
look like a stock photo in a picture frame.
Absolutely.
Yo, that guy's like Clyde Stubblefield. He's so accidentally famous.
Oh fuck, that's hilarious, man.
Y'all know Clyde Stubblefield, right?
Sounds familiar. You're gonna have to refresh my
he was
memory.
the funky drummer.
The funky drummer.
He played for James Brown, but then Funky
Yes.
Drummer, the song itself, and Cold Sweat and a
Okay.
couple others, went on to be the most sampled drum breaks of all time.
Okay,
so
so yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
him playing the drums has been in more songs than like any other drummer
And
in
he's
the
played
world.
by the black guy from The Office in the James Brown movie.
Oh, word. Yeah, I
Yeah.
seen a bit of
Yo,
that movie.
Black Thought was in that movie, man.
Was he?
Yo, Black Thought was in that movie. Go back and watch that. Black Thought was in that
I've
shit.
only seen like the last half of it.
Okay, I dug that movie. That movie was dope, man. Shout out
I
James
seen it
Brown.
like when he went up to like his homie's house and he been ripping him off money and he was like, yo, ain't cool no more or some shit.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah, he had a little falling out with
He's like
with
homeboy
Bird.
from like when he was like a kid or whatever.
Yeah, that's
and
his boy Bird. You know what I mean? Like that's a dude.
I saw it from like there.
That was like his right hand man his whole career. He was a
Yeah.
performer as well, and he's dope and shit. That's a pretty good movie, man. I'll go back. I might watch that movie tonight if I remember when I go home.
Hey.
Throw on that James Brown movie. It starts off with him going hard on the crack, and you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
fucking rolling up and drinking
Oh
and
shit.
going crashing the whip and stuff.
Sounds
But-
like a green room at a DMX show.
But that's what it was, man. But yo, you know what's crazy? Speaking of like really weird and fucked up
Shout
stuff
out
or
DMX,
whatever,
we want to get that interview.
right? Have you heard this this song, fucking Moo song, Doja Cat?
Vlad even interviewed this girl. I was
Are you
wondering who the
serious?
fuck this
Oh,
chick is.
shit.
Say word
is
to
this chick?
Vlad's got all the fucking interviews, eh? So
Oh,
man,
yeah.
yo, I don't even know, man. I'm a huge fan of Deftones, and I'm listening to a playlist that's coming up, you know, because they're having like a day of Deftones or Deftones Day or whatever.
What,
and
they played the Moose song?
well, all the artists who are going to be performing at their festival are on this playlist.
This
They got
chick
them, Mike
performing.
Shinoda, Future. Yeah, and out of nowhere, I'm at the gym and this
What
this
the
song's
fuck?
like Moo, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this Moo song? And it's this girl Doja Cat, and I'm like, okay, I got to hear something else from her. So I heard 1-2 other tracks. She's not bad, man, but
Yo.
this Moo song. Bitch, I'm a cow. Bitch, I'm a cow. I'm not a
Fuck outta
cat.
here.
Bitch, I'm a cow. The fucking Moo song.
Somebody milk her under the gun.
So shout out Doja Cat. Whatever your thought process was behind writing that song.
Ain't it crazy now though how like you can like literally become a celebrity off just like going viral?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Like your Slim Jesus is, your fucking Bad Bobbies, your
Hey,
fucking
yeah, it's crazy.
your
Listen,
Big Shacks,
listen.
your fucking
That bad baby
who's
girl.
the dancing kid, Shiggy. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
can we make some noise for like the old people who used to go viral that didn't get famous from it? Like what about the unforgettable guy?
The unforgettable.
I told her to get me a chicken sandwich and some waffle fries.
I don't remember
You
that
don't
shit
remember
at all.
that shit?
No,
Yo,
I don't
was
remember
the
that.
funniest shit in the world. You don't remember that shit?
Nope.
Yo,
Nope.
please tell me, Mike, you've seen the
Nah.
unforgettable shit.
Not off
Oh,
the top
man.
of my head.
I
I'd
don't
have to
remember
pull
that
the shit
one
up
at all,
af-
bro.
after.
Unforgettable.
Just a dude in the forest and saying the most filthy shit, and then like every time so they're about to start laughing, they cut it, and then he like
Yeah.
picks up where he left off. It's just the most like foul shit. Like
That's hilarious.
I told her to get me a 7-Up on a first date at the mall.
Whatever
Then I
happened-
grabbed her purse and told her that. Like it's just like so. Like,
Yeah.
It's just
Whatever
like,
happened to the chocolate ring guy?
chocolate
Rain.
rain.
Whatever happened to that guy, man?
Yo,
Taiwan,
that guy
whatever.
deserves a check right now.
Or
You
you
got a
know,
lot of
saying, like,
rappers biting his style.
Right, did you ever see that South Park episode where they had all the memes? They probably did the episode in like 2012, and they had all the famous memes up until that
Or like
point.
the viral people.
Yeah, all the
Memes were
viral
really
people.
popping in 2000.
Viral video
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
whatever. I mean, whatever the fuck, you know, like they had them all in there, and they're all like fighting against each other and stuff, trying to like get paid from the internet.
Really?
Yeah, that was a classic episode.
See, I kind of feel bad for the people who made the internet. Like, because if you think about it, Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast recently. I thought it was interesting, but like,
Like they didn't get paid.
well, like YouTube started as like basically like an America's home
Yeah, yeah.
video. Like,
Yeah.
like the highest played
Yeah.
video for the longest
Oh,
time was
dude.
like a cat or like a
Bob
kid
Saget.
or something.
Bob Saget laid the foundation for all this fail blog, YouTube shit, you know what I'm saying? Like memes, all this stuff was, like you said, America's funniest home fucking video.
It's like that's what it all started as. That
Yeah.
used to be the shit like kids like
Yeah.
arguing over gum and shit used to be like what people went to look for on YouTube.
Yeah.
Then it went to bum fights and then it went to like, you
Oh,
know what I mean?
jeez. Yeah. Girls gone crazy or girls gone wild or whatever. And, yeah.
Yo, can we make some noise for E-Bombs World though?
Oh, wow.
The original meme.
Put that over there to me.
E-Bombs World or E-Fucked.
Like, would you
Yeah.
not say E-Bombs World was kind of like the original meme? Like, they didn't do memes, but they had all that popping, like,
I don't know what that shit is.
online trolling shit. How do you not know
I don't
E-Bombs
know.
World?
I don't.
E-Bombs World was,
Does the
it was like
generational
E-Fucked.
gap go that far back
Yeah,
between internet?
It might.
Like, I can
Mm.
see it now because everyone can access what they want, but back then there was like, there wasn't everything you needed or wanted. You know what I mean? E-Bombs
Yeah.
World was popping.
Bombs were- I
You don't remember that?
No.
And then
E-Bombs
you used to have
World
the
was kinda like-
soundboards you could do the prank
Yeah.
calls with and shit.
It was kind of like
Oh,
the
is that-
original
is that the bulletin
YouTube.
one?
They had the toad in the blender.
Oh, I was probably not.
No, it was
Yeah.
it was kind of like the immature website to go
Yeah.
to. You know, they had eFucked, which was another one where it was
I
like,
don't know if I
whoa.
ever peeped E-Fuck.
The videos on there were really, really crazy. Hence, you know, the title, the name eFucked.
Remember watching porn in the like Napster, LimeWire days, and like videos would come up and it'd be like sex, fuck, pilgrim, pigeon, landscaping,
Kind of.
mule.
It would be like watch this guy
Bukkake.
screw
It
a
would just be
goat
like
or
a bunch of like
something.
fucked up like sex words in a row, and like you would like there's like the same 10 video clips that you would always just cycle through, and
It
they'd
was-
be named different shit.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
okay,
here's
yes,
Jenna
yes, yes.
Jameson sucking the same dick again.
Yeah. No, I remember that stuff, but I didn't really risk it because it was like I'm not giving my fucking computer A's for this shit.
Oh,
What
man.
I would do is like I would actually pay somebody to go fucking burn that stuff for me.
I gave so many fucking.
I wasn't
desktops to
risking that
fucking
stuff,
slap with
man.
That shit. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
no, I wasn't. I
I was
wasn't about to
mucking my
risk that
parents' laptops. 2 a year we'd be going through on those bad boys.
stuff. Once streaming came
Holy
in,
shit.
that was the shit. The streaming era made everything, you know, like muy bueno.
You like the streaming era more than the ringtone era?
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely. I'm glad the ringtone era is gone, man. Fuck the ringtone era. It was kind of a weird era.
Do you think Soldier Boy should just get the fuck out of here permanently since he's like the last standing Stonehenge of.
The ringtone era?
Yeah.
Nah, get that
Man,
money.
his song was the
Get
most
that
popular
money.
ringtone ever.
You think so?
It was?
I'm pretty
I-
sure.
You think it was more popular than
Yeah.
Riding Dirty?
Yeah.
Probably was.
Yeah, more popular. Riding Dirty,
Oh.
come on.
White tees.
I used to
don't know.
bump Riding Dirty hard. I used to think I was so cool, like being like 15 years old, getting drunk in my homie's backyard, bumping Riding Dirty.
Shout out Chameleonaire, man.
Hey, yo, let's get that Chameleonaire interview. What's up, Chameleonaire?
This guy's always trying to get the fucking interview, no
Yeah,
matter
why
what.
not?
eh?
Yo, I've been
That's what's
stood
up.
up for phone interviews twice in
Yeah.
the last week and a half.
Word.
So
And
there's
I'm starting to
bizarre.
get cheesed. Yo, we're not calling nobody out.
All right, I'm sorry. So there's really
Someone
weird.
express how I
and,
feel.
all right, what's a okay? So we could give a synonym to the first one. It would be really weird. A good synonym for you know that rapper.
Okay.
Right?
Alright.
What's a synonym for the second one? Let me see if I can guess the second one.
Budden's first name repeated twice and the name of water that 18-year-old plus basic white bitches drink.
What's that?
Jojo Fiji.
Pellegrino.
Oh, there you go.
Pellegrino.
You know what?
What the
Once you
fuck is
said
he
that,
standing up?
once you
He
said, I was like,
ain't
word.
saying shit.
I wish, you know.
No, shout out to Pellegrino.
I like
Get that money,
Pellegrino.
Jojo Pellegrino.
Again,
man.
another disappointment. He's like he was a dope rapper.
Yeah.
he was on
These are the
fire
guys
and
I
shit.
follow and be like, oh shit, not happening.
Okay,
It's
I
not their
thought-
fault.
But yo, but let's not even talk
Usually
about
not their
Pelly too
fault.
much because I'm gonna get a good
You
interview with
trying to
him.
get
Oh yeah,
that
he's,
money.
he's a dope rapper, man.
Once we
All right,
get it.
listen, I
Did
will
you guys
say.
hear that Reaper diss he did to Eminem and MGK?
I didn't listen to it.
It's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
he came with smoke.
I know
He
he's
didn't
good.
like personally diss him. He
I
just
know.
like barred out.
Yeah, I know. I like him. I've always had.
But those fucking where I'm from joints are so dope.
Mm.
And he did this one over like the Wu-Tang sampler camera with the joints called where he's like, I'm from where everybody's addicted to prescription pills, so I don't got a beef with no junkie. I let them kill themselves. I'm like, that is so fire. Like,
Man, speaking of junkie, I saw like a couple going wild on the walk over here, just and
Oh,
like
yeah?
not even like here in this area. I'm talking like right on my fucking street.
yo, shout out to all the junkies out there.
Shout out to the Dawes Road, Danforth and Dawes Road patrolman because they going hard
Yeah.
out there, especially on these warm days. Man, these guys are out there just dancing on the Danforth right now, tap fucking dancing
Wow,
for
so
those
weird,
oxys.
man.
Yeah, it's really crazy,
Is the
man.
block hotter when it's hot out?
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, for sure, man. When it's warm outside, nobody wants to stay in, you know what I mean? So they're all out there and they just
Oh, last night was beautiful too.
So
Yeah,
the
that
block
sounds
being
great.
hot is always a double entendre.
Yeah. When it's hot, it's gonna be hot. You
So
know,
when
the hotter it is, the hotter it is.
So when Lil Yachty made Minnesota and he said, it gets cold as Minnesota, if you can't stand the heat, stay up out the streets, then he was completely wrong about that.
Well, I mean, you know,
Because if it's
hot,
cold
it's
as Minnesota, why is the block hot?
Because some people are cold-hearted, son. Some people are
Do you know what's
cold-hearted.
crazy? Someone tried to explain that. When I said that years ago when that shit came out,
Yeah.
somebody I said this to
Yeah.
used that exact same thing. They're like, because cold-hearted or cold-blooded. I'm like, you really looking at Lil Yachty this deep like the motherfucking Socrates right now? Like, get the
Kick it
fuck
right.
out of here with that shit.
I think people like underestimate how well he can actually rhyme.
No, Lil Yachty to me is permanently the fuck out of here. Because I don't
Listen,
know
I don't
how you're
listen to
being,
him, but
I
I've
don't
heard
know
a few
how you're
tracks
being
where-
how high too.
Well, I don't give a shit,
Without
but
meth or red. I don't know how that's
Because
happening.
they want to
You
get that
know,
younger
okay,
demographic.
here's
man.
why,
They got
here's
that
why.
younger demographic.
Meth and Red, I think they helped write it, but they don't own the rights to that movie.
I know.
The studio owns it,
But
right?
why would you ruin something great? It's like when they redid Carlito's Way and Puff Daddy played the fucking
I
gangster.
feel you.
You know, he
I
walks
feel
in the
you.
bar and he shoots him. He's like,
Yeah.
he only owed me a quarter.
I feel
It's
you.
principle.
But
Or
honestly,
whatever he
though,
says, it's just like so whack. It's like, man, get this movie the fuck out of
But
here.
that's the thing with movies, when characters
Exactly.
change, the people from the old generation that saw it, they're like, oh, that's fucked up. The new generation doesn't even know what the fuck the difference
Right.
is.
Yeah, but did
I
the
feel
new,
you though.
but did the
Yeah.
new generation even watch Rise the Power Carlito's Way?
I don't
Like, I
think
think
so.
the only people that
Yeah.
watched that were people who wanted to see
Yeah.
Carlito's Way
Yeah.
too, and they did not get that. They
Yeah.
got Puff Daddy.
But if
Like, at least get me LL Cool J
Yeah.
or
I'll
Ice
be
T.
honest, I have not seen
Get Puff
that
Daddy
shit.
the fuck out of here.
but
I have not seen Carlito's Way
Just
Part
type in
2.
Carlito's Way Puff Daddy bar scene on YouTube. You'll
Nah.
watch that corny ass clip and you'll never watch the movie. You'll be like, wow.
I think I might have seen parts of it where he was like rolling around in a Rolls Royce or something like that.
He just like acts so G. It's like the same reason why I hate the Notorious movie. Because Puffy just acts like that movie isn't even like it's about Biggie, but it's more like a platform to Puffy to look like the
Yeah.
coolest dude to ever exist.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like,
Well, they had a dope actor playing Puffy in that movie. Was it
yeah, he didn't
Luke,
embody Puffy, but I mean, like,
Yeah,
it's just whack. Like, it's like, you know what I mean?
it's better than the Tupac movie. I'll tell you that much.
I
Tupac.
was not impressed with the Tupac movie.
Neither was
But it
I. I
wasn't
had
as
hopes
bad
for
as
it.
people said. Like, it was as good as Notorious was.
I'm not.
It might even
It
been
was all
better.
over the place.
I'm
It
just
was
not
all better.
understanding how two of the greatest rappers of all time get movies done about them and they're both garbage.
Bad director.
That's horrible, man.
Firstly, they both lived short lives.
no, but it can still
They
make
live
a
short
good
lives.
movie, man.
Neither of them are
La
here.
Bamba. La Bamba was a great movie.
Ray's a great movie.
Right?
Well, Ray's still here.
But La Bamba,
Is he
you
not?
saw La Bamba,
But Ray
right?
can't
Yo,
watch
La
the
Bamba
movie
was
anyway.
La
dope.
Bamba, that guy was young.
Yeah, Richie Valens.
Yeah, that
I
was
love
a
that
dope
movie.
I seen
movie.
that.
I love
Even
that movie.
Selena, the Selena movie was dope.
Ah,
So,
Selena's
it's not
bomb.
the- you know
Shout
what
out
I'm
to
saying?
Jennifer Lopez
What?
getting her
I guess
Selena
the
on.
Latin artists are gonna have better joints than the rappers. I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's better
right?
direction, man. Better directors. That's all.
Yeah, they just took the time
In-
to
in-
make it happen.
In the case of All Eyes on Me, what happened was they had two directors. So
New
one
edition
director
director, right?
left. And
Yeah.
then, yeah, but again, better directors. You know what I'm saying? More material
Yeah.
to
It's
work
just a-
with. better
Well,
But
writers.
wasn't John Singleton one of the directors
He was.
originally though?
I think
Yeah.
he
And then
left
got
as
taken off
director
the
and
project.
stayed on as a producer, and someone else came in as a director.
But see, what I did like about the Pac movie, like the movie wasn't executed well. Like
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
guy who acted, like he just wasn't that great of an actor. You know,
Yeah.
no disrespect to whoever that dude is. We get the answer.
Straight Outta Compton was fucking
But-
dope.
You know, Compton was dope. But what I was gonna say about All Eyes on Me is like the one thing I did like though
Mm.
is the way they actually did touch into his past, like the Black Panther history and all
Yeah.
that shit. Like I expected a Hollywood movie to overlook all that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
and not put any of that kind of like like the root thing. Like and it even showed them like like how the FBI kind of
Yeah.
interrogated the Black Panther and shit. Like it actually gave you a history of like what Tupac comes from.
Yeah.
And I did not expect that. Like I thought that alone was dope. Yes, it wasn't executed properly, but I think the idea was right.
I think it's hard to do a Tupac or a Biggie movie, specifically a Pac movie.
Man.
Such an iconic person. It's like doing an Elvis
You
movie.
can. Come
You can't
on,
really do an
man.
Elvis
Yes, you
movie.
can.
You
Yeah,
can't
but
do a
can we get
Michael
Elvis
Jackson
the fuck
movie.
out of here too.
You can. Wasn't there an Elvis movie though? I remember
I don't
watching one
know.
way back in the day when I was a kid. They
Well,
didn't-
Elvis acted, so he was
Yeah.
in a bunch.
He's
Of
in
but
a
I
bunch
mean,
of
no, but
fucking
there's
movies.
also Elvis biography after he died.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think it was called Graceland.
Mm.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so and that movie was good.
The only Elvis movie I watched is the
Yeah.
one where I can't remember what it's called, but the like bank robbers and the guys dressed
Yeah.
like Elvis and they come from Vegas or whatever. Can't remember what it's called.
That sounds pretty interesting.
10, 15 years ago or something.
Even Vanilla Ice had a dope movie, even though he was alive.
What?
I mean, it wasn't dope, but it was dope for a guy who was 16, who fucking.
They made a
had his-
movie about Vanilla
I
Ice.
remember
Yeah.
he was in a movie.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yo, hold on. What
After
is
you're
Somebody
talking
get
about
Vanilla
like
Ice
right
the
at the
fuck
peak of
outta
his
here.
career,
Yeah,
he did
exactly,
a movie.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember he did a
It
movie.
was
at that
basically
time.
like 8 Mile. The
But-
Vanilla
Yeah,
Ice
you're
version.
kind of
Oh,
right.
jeez.
Yeah. I don't know about it being dope or anything.
No,
like
but I'm
that.
just saying. I think that was probably the Tupac and Biggie movie.
Okay. Now you put it into
What's
context.
the best bio?
Yo, the Biggie movie wasn't bad though.
Yeah,
Biggie movie
man,
wasn't that
Notorious
bad.
is trash. Get the movie the fuck
Nah,
out
it
of
was
here.
not that
The only
bad,
good thing about the
man.
Biggie movie is what's Nas's line? Blasting them after the actors who played Faith Evans. Little Jackie, yo, Nas's kid. I'm so high, I never land like Mike Jackson crib.
You had Notori knotting up in that movie doing her thing before she was even on Power. So shout out to her for playing Lil Kim.
I think Notori
man.
I think Notori.
Notorious.
I think Nori
Yeah,
and the rights to Biggie's legacy
right.
should collab on a cookie, Notorios.
That's just random and weird as fuck.
That movie for Ice was called Cool as Ice.
Cool as Ice. All right, you gotta do your homework, Maloney, and watch that movie.
Nah, I've just watched CB4. They're about as good as each
Yo,
other.
the whole
CB4
joke
was dope.
CB4 is amazing, and like you watch that and you get that it's a parody, but so much of it is like
Straight out of low
it kind of became what you know, saying certain
Yeah.
things are in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's so exaggerated, but
Or
it's
is that
so
right?
fucking.
Is Kanye in
weird,
Wyoming
man.
hip hop in low cash right now? Because
Is
that's
he?
what's happening.
No, he's going to Africa.
Is the
That's what
sunken
they
place low cash?
said. Maybe.
I don't know what Kanye's doing.
But
Kanye's
saying he's
doing
going to Africa.
Kanye,
He's saying he's going to
man.
Africa.
I was trying to understand where he was coming from. I know Mike was on that tip too. Like the first few videos where they only played segment stuff, you're like,
For the
with Kanye, we're like, I kind of understand what he's saying.
The
but-
TMZ shit, right?
Well, the old TMZ shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
I
is-
Like
thought you were
now,
TMZ shit.
he's at the point now where I'm just like.
But he's actually on point
Kanye
with
the
some
fuck
of the
out.
shit he's
Yeah.
saying. It's just because people already threw him away on the other shit that they don't really want to give a fuck about what he's saying now. The whole thing with the 13th Amendment thing, it basically makes slavery legal in America. Slavery
the
never
prison system, right?
never ended. A lot of people.
I haven't
never
seen
ended
this
in America.
documentary. Everyone
Yeah,
talks about
30,
15th
yeah.
Amendment, but that's what they added when
Yeah.
they freed the slaves, right?
It's basically.
I have a verse all about that
Yeah.
actually. To
So-
the DNA Kendrick beat. It's like
Mhm.
the same year, ironically, the year that Lincoln freed the slaves, the number of prison institutes increased the same. It's not a coincidence, it's a shift to seeing things, because I don't know, either way,
Yeah.
that shit's on fucking Facebook
So
somewhere.
if people
But
don't, if people never read it or read that amendment, they're not gonna understand what he's fucking talking about.
What he was trying to refer to is specifically prisoners who are modern day slaves in the United States of America getting work for like
Yeah.
5 cents a day. So I understand his sentiment, but the way he worded it by saying let's get rid of the 13th Amendment, essentially what he's saying is, well, let's legalize slavery again.
Yeah.
Instead of saying we need to amend this amendment, you know, which is kind of weird, and, you know, make it so that people can't use prisoners, you know.
Yeah.
That would have been much better. The thing is with Kanye is like, he needs to think before he says some of the things. He needs to
Yeah.
just kind of filter it a little bit and slow
Well, it's because it
down.
all comes from that sunken place. So by the time it reaches his larynx and comes out of his mouth, the message is skewed. You know, like in grade school when you say like, Jimmy has a crush on Elizabeth, and then by the time it gets to the front of the class, it's like the teacher raped 4 children.
Wow.
Yo, broken telephone, man.
That's
Yeah,
a
the
crazy broken telephone
That's
right
like Kanye
there.
has a broken telephone within himself. And when the message comes from the sunken place, it gets distorted by the time it comes out of his lips.
I'm gonna be honest. You know what? I just think it's cocaine and Hennessy
You
mixed
think Kanye
together.
does cocaine?
I think
There's
Kanye
people-
does a lot of cocaine.
There's people who are
man.
not on drugs who kind of do the same shit.
I think Kanye's
I don't really know if they are hard on drugs.
Well, I don't know. I'm just assuming, man. It's like if you're, I'm not gonna say if you're heavy into conspiracy theories, but if you are, but you don't actually, you see the theory, but you don't do the
Conspiracies are conspiracies.
No, but what
theories.
what I'm saying is, if you don't do any research,
Shout out to Lutz. What up,
to
homie?
see if it's like actually true or not,
Yeah.
and you just take the first shit you heard, that's what Kanye's on, for the most part. And he's like,
Yeah.
I gotta do more
Mm.
research.
Do you know what he reminds me of right
Yeah.
now? Me when I was 16, the first time I watched Zeitgeist.
Oh,
trying to talk to my parents
man.
about
Yeah,
economics.
yeah.
Oh man, I had so many people like, yo, you gotta sit down and watch this movie. It's like, okay, all right,
It's good.
Mm,
Yeah, there's a lot of
Not
far-fetched
bad,
shit.
but-
It's like Alex Jones, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of like dope points of view and perspective too, right?
Mhm.
And I mean, let's be real here. The large percentage of the current modern day population who knows anything about a Federal Reserve banking system learned it through that movie.
yeah, for the most part.
Like it opened your eyes to a lot of facts. It just had a lot of fucking other
Yeah.
Alex Jones connecting
You gotta
type
do the
Yeah.
research,
preaching
man.
shit behind it, but there's
Well, for the
enough.
most part, music, or sorry, documentaries and things like that, is supposed to kind of like open up your eyes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's up to you
Yeah.
to
Do
do
that
research,
anyways,
man.
right?
You
Yeah,
gotta
you're supposed to do your research. But that's the problem. Like, too many people, even like we see it all the time on Facebook and
Yeah.
whatnot, people just post headlines. Like, one that I keep seeing,
Yeah.
I've seen it about 5 times last week, is what's his name? The guy who played Willy Wonka. Gene Wilder. Like, oh, Gene Wilder has died, and people are like, oh man, that's so sad. It's like, yo, guys, he
This is 2
died
years ago.
2 or 3 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
If you just click the link
Yeah,
and
you
look
can
at the
see it.
date on the link, you'll see the date, right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
people just want to read headlines. We live in an era.
It's true.
We live in the headline era. You know what I mean?
Very
So
true.
people don't want to do just that 5-10 minutes of due diligence and just figure out, yo, is this legitimate or not? You know,
Yeah.
they just kind of read a headline and move on with it. Same thing when they post articles. They don't even say, yo, is this a left-leaning, center, right-leaning website? Is
Yeah.
what they're saying, are they leaning towards a particular bias?
Well,
Is
that's
this
the thing.
factually true or not? Everyone
That's what a
just
lot of people
posts it up to
take in.
confirm their
Yeah.
bias.
Is everything you hear and learn is either from somebody with an agenda. Like, there's very few sources you can go to read something.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why when we're on here,
Yeah.
I might say some fucked up shit sometimes, but a lot of times I'm playing devil's advocate,
Right,
right?
right,
You know
right.
what I mean? And that's why, because I think those conversations need to be had, like, because everything you look at is a skewed vision. If you watch fucking Fox, you're gonna think, you know what I mean, this, and this, and you're not gonna,
Right.
you know what I mean? You watch fucking CNN, you think this, and this. If you're a conspiracy theorist, you think this, and this.
Yeah,
You
right,
probably
right.
think that, like, Jay-Z's having sex with a goat head or something. You know what I mean? You believe some foul, fucked up shit because you're everybody's an extremist, but nobody sits and tries to find a middle ground. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like, everything you're delivered has facts in it, but it also has bias.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to learn to read
Yeah.
through and seek through. You know what I
And
mean?
once you start
Absolutely.
showing
Base
people
your own
their,
opinions.
their bias, they start even getting more angry, and it's like, you're fucked, because
Yeah.
I can show you something word for word that you say something and something. Okay, I'll explain it real quick. Former friend or whatever you want to call it, motherfucker. There's a video.
Shots fired.
And he said, and he was saying something like, this person said this. So I actually found the video. Word for word, the person didn't say that.
Right.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
Full clear. The person was so much denial that they were just arguing the whole time. I'm like, it's right here.
Right.
I found it, and it's
Proof.
right here.
The
What
proof
do you-
was there.
Yeah.
What more do you need? Not good enough, because you have these strong feelings about what you believe in, but you don't want to deal with the facts of what
Right.
you believe in.
And see now, and not to bring it back to Kanye, but we're gonna bring it back here
Yeah.
because now that you say that, that actually is what I feel like Kanye has done his whole career.
Yeah.
Shout out Glad Power.
Now, at first it made sense, you know what I mean? The Black Power, and
Yeah.
even from like Never Let Me Down, like the sitting in that seat where white folks didn't want to eat, like talk, you know what I mean? And his upbringing and everything. There was a history, it connected, it made you feel it. But now I almost feel like that, like he's doing that type of shit just to appease to different audiences now.
Yeah.
No, I just think right now he's really, really confused. He's isolated from people who really actually have the ability to say no to him. I think he's surrounded by so many people just like, yes, yes, yes. And he has been for a long time. He's isolated himself for a long time. Remember, man, he used to walk around with an entourage of 5 really weird-looking guys who were like his manservants and his fashion servants and whatnot. You know what I
But
mean?
like even when he did like Yeezus, right?
Right.
The album comes out. They post it up all over the world on like projectors.
Even then, he was kind of on
On,
some
like,
shit. He
the
was using the
Alamo
Confederate
and,
flag, like he was using
Yeah,
Confederate
exactly.
flag.
That's what I'm saying.
logo
Like
and
they
stuff.
projected this shit on like the Alamo and all these like historical sites. Which like as a Kanye fan, you're reaching like this speaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was a Kanye fan at the time, and I've always been someone that's like anti
Right,
systematic. You know, I don't want to say anarchist, but anti-systematic.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I can fall in the conspiracy theorist category, though I believe in conspiracy, not just theories, right? But the thing is, so like I've always had that very anti-establishment appeal,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
when like he put that shit out and it was like on the Alamo and all these other places
Yeah.
in the world where like they're projecting it, I'm like, yo, that's ill. I'm expecting something to come from this album. Then when I listened to it,
Yeah.
it was just him whining about the fashion industry.
Right.
Now, someone who wants to believe, like what you're saying about Guy, like
Yeah.
he said this guy said something that wasn't there. People will do that
Yeah.
with your music and
Exactly.
shit if they believe you stand for them.
Yeah, was it like the Pan Am Games or whatever where they had him close it out, the performance at the Sky Dome?
Oh yeah, and you fucked it up.
Did he?
Kind
Yeah.
of.
Did we
I don't
see
know
how
if
bad he
he,
fucked up on SNL?
I don't know if
I
he
didn't
did,
really
though.
watch that. I don't
Come
care.
on, man.
This one, I'm gonna be
Did
honest.
you hear the "I Love It" clip though?
Nah, what?
I'm a real freak. I love a real freak. I like my.
Maybe he's
Like, he
doing that
didn't
on
even like blank
purpose.
out words. I'm just like, yo, you could have been like, I'm a sick nut. I love my ish. What?
Yeah.
Like you could have even said that in still
Yeah.
words at least.
I
Like
think
just
the
ain't
sounds
creative
fresh,
like you,
within
though.
30 seconds, I thought of like 18 better ways to present it. He literally went, like my.
He probably had
And
some.
before that, he replaced like the hoe shit with freak, and like,
Yeah.
so you're like, here,
Yeah.
like you're thinking like, oh, this guy's already like
Listen.
reprogrammed how he's gonna say this for TV, and then he just starts mumbling. It's like, I like my.
At some point in
It's like,
time,
shut the fuck up, Kanye.
at some point in time, Kanye just started believing his hype a little bit too much and started
Yeah.
dabbling in the yayo
Him
just a
and
little
Flavor Flav
too
need to have a
extra. And
one-on-one.
you know, like like put it this way, man. He mentally projected everything he wanted to do. He wanted to become a dope producer, became a dope producer. He wanted to become the best rapper in the world. Maybe not the best rapper, but you know what I'm saying? Like that guy, he became that guy. He wanted to marry Kim Kardashian, he married Kim Kardashian.
Now he wants to be Ice Cube.
So I don't think he necessarily wants to be Ice Cube. I just think he just
The one
did
that you
so
love to
much.
hate.
Okay, there you go. But I just think like he mentally
Bars.
projected so much that he wanted to do and accomplished it. And now he's dabbling into some stuff right now, man. You know what I'm saying? He's in love with that white girl. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
and that's the
she's
end
not
of.
just a white girl. She is like the epitome of like every.
No, I don't mean he's in love with a white girl,
Ray
like a
J.
Caucasian woman. I mean he's in love with the.
Cocaine.
Yeah, he's in love
Oh.
with that. He's in love with that white girl. You
Yo, if
know.
Kanye's got a coke problem, then I completely salute everything he's doing right
I
now.
can't see him not having a coke problem. Can you see the things he's doing and be like, hey, that's not cocaine
But why
talking right
does it
now?
gotta be cocaine though?
It could be anything. Wasn't he hooked on opioids?
Man.
Yo, you want to hear my remix of Royce's
Because-
cocaine?
Yeah, go ahead.
Not really at the moment. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear your remix of Royce's Cocaine, which is a dope track, by the way.
Yeah.
My opinion so far, that and Droga's Wave are the best two hip hop albums of the year. Absolutely. Book of Ryan and Droga's Wave by Lupe Fiasco are the two best albums. And Cocaine is the best song on that Book of Ryan album. And I would
was
even
just a
argue.
kid, me and Dad would ride the truck out to the
Yeah.
country, but he never let me touch the club. He just wanted croquet. My dad left me
croquet?
over croquet.
I just heard
Like
seen
the
that
game?
post you put
Yeah,
up.
like the game you play.
Yeah.
I just see that.
Yeah, that was funny.
We had
man.
that on the no card.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think absolutely like Kanye is dabbling in
Croquet.
not croquet. I think he's dabbling in, you know, I think he enjoys the company of.
But why does it have to be cocaine though? A lot of great people do cocaine. They don't go crazy like that. Like sure, Richard Pryor might have been fucking dudes, but he wasn't going out saying.
Richard Pryor lit himself
Actually, he
on
was
fire.
pretty
Richard
on
Pryor
fire.
was
He
crazy
was pretty,
as hell, and that's what made
Bad
him a
example.
genius.
Bad example. What
man.
about Rick James was smacking
Rick James
bitches.
was
All
you
right,
know,
yeah, I stand corrected. People, Scott Storch
James
was
Brown
buying
was
boats to impress girls.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All
So I can't say with 100%, you know, positivity and assurance because I've never seen it done, but I think Kanye, you know, does a little cutting up of some yay, if you know what I mean.
Well, you ever see that like Snapchat photo of Kim Kardashian that went viral, but she took it down obviously once it started going viral. Well,
No, how
Snapchat's
do you
only
take it
24
down?
hours anyways,
Yeah.
but it's fucking
Goes
like
viral,
her.
how do you take it
it's
in?
like her saying something. I don't know if it was a video or a picture, but like her in a bathroom, and in the background on the counter, you can see like 3 lines of coke busted up. And she tried to like play it off like that was makeup. It's like, nah, girl.
There you go.
Yo, I just think people should represent. Like, if you do drugs, don't hide it. That's what makes you whack. Like,
Well,
I don't accept you.
People have an
Party
image
culture don't
to
accept
uphold.
you.
man.
There's no fucking image.
People have sponsorships. You know what I
Yeah, well,
mean?
what the
Like,
fuck? Just because I meet Poppy twice a month don't mean that you gotta fuck it. I don't want your Nike endorsement.
corporate America
Man, the
don't
dudes on the,
doesn't
tell me
want
the
that
dudes on
involved
the
with them.
fucking Nike fucking board aren't sniffing coke.
For
Fuck.
sure, but they
behind-
don't.
behind the
Exactly, they don't
Yeah.
want that. You know what I mean? They don't want people to, you know what I mean, know that the people representing their company are openly doing that.
Yeah,
you know
well,
what I
they can
mean?
get the fuck out of here with everyone else who hides that shit. Just
I don't
be
make the
open.
rules.
Be
Why don't
open.
you write the head of Nike a letter and say, "Hey, reinstate John Jones. He deserves to be back." You know, and not.
Who's John Jones?
Oh man, you don't want. Oh fuck, John Jones is an MMA fighter, and
What, he got caught doing coke and he got booted?
man, he's done all types of shit, man. He's for cocaine, drinking and driving,
Okay.
steroids. Yeah, steroids again, something like that.
Well, if you're a fighter and use steroids, like I get that.
I'm
but I
pretty
mean,
sure
like,
Conor McGregor is on a ton of cocaine.
It's like what? Like I don't get when they
Like,
like talk about like drug testing like NHL, NBA players, NFL.
Oh, dude.
And like you smoke weed, it's like you get in trouble. It's like why the fuck you get in trouble? Like if anything that makes you worse at your fucking game,
Well,
and if you're still killing shit, then
I guarantee you a lot of
Good for
athletes are
you.
on blow, and they're on blow because it's out of your system within like maximum 36 hours, where if they smoke marijuana, it's in their body for up to 8 weeks.
which is
And
also
I've
interesting.
I've seen, a few of the Toronto Maple Leafs back in the day at some of the clubs, and
Was
they're
Ty Domi
like,
one?
no, I'm talking like maybe like 2010. I'm not talking like fucking 98 or anything like that.
Wanna know a
But like
funny Ty Domi
2010, like
story?
the guys that are going hard, but a lot of athletes do it. Lawyers told me lawyers do a lot of coke
Mad lawyers
because
do that shit.
it's out of their system,
Brain
right?
surgeons,
So-
people who are fucking working surgery on your head are doing coke. And shit. Mad people doing coke. Everybody's doing coke.
I ain't never tried it, so
Cocaine in like next 20 years should be like the marijuana.
it
should be
probably
cocaine
will
culture.
be. It probably will be.
Yeah.
The way they're going with marijuana and they're gonna make so much money off of it, I could see them saying, hey, we could kind of go that way with cocaine if, certain people get into positions of power, certain politicians who have ties to that stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man, they'll make that shit legal soon, or they'll just go the route that Portugal went and they'll
Everything.
They don't want it to
decriminalize
be
everything.
legal though, because it's a legal business. See, to me personally, I believe the only reason weed was finally legalized is because the culture was so big and it's not a controllable
Yeah.
industry. Like you can
Yeah,
try
you
to
can't grow
control it for
cocaine
so
in your
long.
basement,
It's like
right?
the same reason they ended prohibition because you couldn't control the black market industry.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was incontrollable.
and let's be honest though, you can't have a grow up and grow cocaine in some houses out in Ajax. Like
No.
we don't have the conditions for it.
No.
Marijuana, it's like we can grow
Our
much of this
climate's
as
fine
we-
for that.
exactly.
Yeah.
So eventually they had to legalize it, which, by the way, 7 days away.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday. What are we gonna do? Like, are we gonna talk to Chris and see if we can smoke this piece out or what, man?
We
Like,
can talk to Chris about that.
I feel like smoking some right now.
Talk
But,
to Chris and Mike and see if they're in for it. Maybe they come in and sit in.
Yeah,
Be
maybe they'll come and
you
sit
can
in,
hang out
yeah.
with us while we do it.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
we'll
know,
do it in
though,
the
you
studio
know,
room or
yeah.
something. And
Like, because other people rent shit out in here. I don't
Yeah.
know if they'd be into it, but
yeah,
we
that's
can ask.
true, right?
Yeah.
If not, I got like a bunch of edibles we can eat and shit.
All right, we might
But
make it the
then
edible
we
episode.
got to meet up at like 4:30 then,
Yeah.
and we got to eat the edibles first, and even like film it, do like the pre-show.
Oh wow!
And then when we do the
Okay.
podcast, we got to be lifted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You want to do it like that, huh?
But you
All
want
right.
to hear a funny Ty Domi story before I
Sure,
forget?
go right
All
ahead.
right, so Ty Domi went to a grade school with my uncle.
Oh, word.
So my uncle and his friends used to like follow him home and bully him, right? And they would call him Head because he had a big head.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you remember, adult Ty Domi, he also had a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
head.
he had a big head.
But so they would just call him Head, and I guess he would beat up him and his 5 buddies like religiously.
Oh, geez.
But they would still just keep coming back and taunting him on his way home and calling him Head, and then he would just serve them up again.
Oh, good for him, man. Good for Head.
Yeah. Good for Pause.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Even just saying Ty Domi and Head in the same sentence feels wrong.
Kind of. But like, are you a fan of the Leafs?
And then
or
his
no?
last name's Domi too. That's like
that's a
double
little
pause.
fucking weird. That's kind of weird. But are you actually a hockey fan or what? You watch hockey?
Nah, man.
I feel like I asked you that a few weeks ago and you said no.
No, me no watch no sports. Bread and circuses ain't for me.
Okay,
Well,
no
yeah.
sports at all. Just
Well,
hip
the
hop.
Leafs are supposedly doing good, right?
Yeah, the Leafs are killing it this year, man. Like we got.
This year, or just like it just started, right? So.
Well, no. Like we made it back to the playoffs last year. We did really well
No,
last
I mean
year.
like the season just started.
Yeah, the season just started.
We'll
Yes,
see
yes,
what
yes.
happens in like April and shit.
We're good, man. We got
Fans
this.
remind me of like that dog that's like owned by that abusive owner who just like all it wants is acceptance and it keeps coming back whimpering for love and you just keep smacking it in its face. That's what a Leaf that's what the whole nation of Leaf fans is like.
Well, again, like I said, man, like I don't invest too much in it like that.
And
So
they're
if they
so
don't win,
supportive.
I don't cry like that. My sport's wrestling. Like I watch a fake sport for fun, you know. Like I get stoned and watch wrestling and laugh my ass off because I know
see,
it's fake.
Yeah, I don't fuck with wrestling.
I love that shit. I'll sit there all night on like a Monday or a Tuesday, just stoned, laughing my ass off. I like UFC as well,
The
but
closest I get
hip
to
hop is
watching
my
wrestling
real sport.
is either watching Dwayne Johnson in a Hollywood movie
Yeah.
or listening to Northern Touch.
Okay, we notorious.
I
Go to
like
the side on the
chilling
shit.
Monday Night
Raw
Raw
watching me and Danny O
at the Sky Dome
Dome.
when it's in town.
Shout out Danny O. What up,
I
homie?
just be regular.
I went to wrestling not too long ago.
Who
As a matter
says
of
you
fact.
just be regular though? Like, can we address this?
Hey man, you know, Shox is a
Why
regular
you just be
dude.
regular?
Shox is a regular dude, man.
Have
He's
some
got
more
the,
pep in your step than that. Why are you just regular?
because he likes the Metamucil, homie. You know, he's good with it. He's regular. He likes the
Isn't
bran muffins.
Metamucil like a diuretic?
Yeah, it's bran muffin type shit. You put it in a drink and you sip that
Oh,
shit.
shit.
Old people snort it and it helps them shit really well.
Yo, you can snort Metamucil?
I don't know, but I think you're gonna try later.
I don't know. Does it get you high?
I don't know, but I think you're gonna have to do an experiment for us and let us know if you can snort Metamucil.
Maybe we should do that on a podcast.
All right. But
Since the sex doll brothel investigation isn't going down, we gotta start finding other crazy fucking
Yeah.
avenues for me to take for this.
I was snorting,
It's
doing
research. We'll be the most scientific podcast in the world.
doing a bump of Metamucil will be, you know what I'm saying? When we'll watch you do that, we'll have some water on the side. We'll make sure you're all right. You don't choke. Have you watched that shit, Drugs Lab, yet?
I don't know. I've seen so many fucking drug
It's not a show. It's
documentaries
not
and
like
shows
no. It's a YouTube
I can't
channel.
even watch Narcos.
I think we talked about this before too. It's a YouTube channel called Drugs Lab where it's like two people and they sit there and they just get stoned off whatever drug that they're gonna experiment for that day, and they film themselves
Oh, that's
over the
cool.
period of a few hours and talk
It's
about
like
it.
tripping
and
with Lee.
I guess I would tripping with Lee. That sounds fun as fuck. What's that?
Lee McInnes, a dude I interviewed a few months back. He's
Okay.
he plays Don and Donna on Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, okay.
But swearing that sponsored, he did a thing called Tripping with Lee, and he travels around the world and does different cultural drugs in different countries,
Wow.
and just like experiences
Wow.
all these fucked up highs and shit. I
Okay.
guess he died during the making of the movie.
Wow.
Actually, once, and they had to resuscitate him.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
Yeah. He talks about it. Yo, check out Breaking Records Radio on YouTube.
Wow.
Subscribe. Lee
So
McInnes
he
interviews.
like flatlined off. Like he pretty much
Yeah, I
OD'd
can't
off
remember
something.
what they were doing that time, but me and him said that one time maybe we'll go together to the Arizona desert like the Doors did and just do peyote for like 5 days straight.
Ooh, I want to try DMT. That's really the only hallucinogenic that I want to try.
I heard
I
that
would
shit's
try that.
crazy. My boy
I'll try
tried it the other
DMT.
day.
What?
This guy said he went into outer space, had a spiritual awakening.
Everybody said they have
Yeah.
spiritual awakening.
So you're
Yeah.
saying
And
you got the
look at
link?
life different after.
Yeah.
So he's saying he's got the link. Then he's got the
Yeah.
hookup.
That's kind of dry snitching right now.
No, whatever. He went to some.
DMT's not legal though.
He went to a retreat.
Okay.
I know they get it from Colombia, from what I heard.
I want that.
Yeah, so he went to a retreat and fucking had some.
I want that.
That's pretty much like I haven't even
Yeah.
tried acid. I'll try DMT though.
Yeah,
got
it is
two-
illegal. Yeah,
I'm
it
just
is
about to
illegal.
put myself on blast, but I got 2 hits of acid sitting at home.
There you
Been
go.
doing it for a year and a half.
There you
Haven't found the
go.
right.
There you go. Dude, I haven't like the last thing I really tripped balls on was shrooms, and that was probably about 4 or 5 years
I'm not
ago.
even big on shrooms.
Oh man, I had some potent shrooms one night. It was like so powerful. It was Nuit Blanche. I had to get the hell out of there. I was like,
Yo.
I'm going home.
Actually, can we tell Nuit Blanche to get the fuck out of here too?
What's wrong with Nuit Blanche?
Man, we went this year.
Oh,
That
shit.
shit was so trash this year,
Yeah,
and
it
it
was
was like
garbage.
so busy. Like
You probably weren't smashed enough.
100,000.
Nah, it was
fuck-
the
I
streets were
lit.
kind of whack. So.
Bruh,
Mm.
come on,
I didn't go out to check it. I didn't.
come
care
on.
if
You don't
Nuit
think
Blanche
I was
here.
lit?
I don't know.
Come on.
I heard
usually
Scarborough was
pretty lit.
nice. I heard the
Yeah.
Scarborough one was nice.
Yeah, that's the first time they did Scarborough.
See,
Shout
I
out
didn't
Nuit
go
Blanche
out
for
to
doing-
Scarborough, but I'm guessing all
for
the
doing
fucking
Scarborough.
good shit was out there because downtown it was whack.
Yeah.
But what happened to Because I know people were complaining online. What happened? Remember, TTC was free on Nuit Blanche
It's
before, right?
supposed to be.
Yeah, I heard
it
this
should
year it
be.
wasn't free. This year they were charging. It's usually free on Nuit Blanche, and I
So
want to
one
say
year they
like
disperse it
and New
to
Year's Eve.
another part of the city. They don't make
Yeah.
it free.
Yeah, they tripping, man. They tripping balls. They're doing all types of weird shit to us,
Yeah,
man.
man, everything's a fucking money grab.
Hey, man, just a quick question though. 'Cause I think like this year's been super duper 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 great for EPs and super duper great for hip hop.
Yeah.
What would you guys say is like, what would you guys? Actually, I'll say it this way. I think that this year is probably the best year for hip hop in the last 10 years. Would you guys agree with that?
I was thinking that, and then I heard on a podcast I was listening to like a day or two ago. They asked that, and they responded like, "I don't even think so. I just think it's been the most oversaturated year."
Really?
I was like, "That's a good point because
Really?
a lot of
Who said
the
that?
artists, Wayno actually,
You know,
well because
I get where he's coming from, but
yeah, everybody dropped, but was it the best from anyone? Like Drake's album, come on, not
Drake album was
great.
decent.
okay,
not
it was
super
good.
great.
It was good.
Decent.
Eminem's album, I
Eminem's
expected more,
was-
but
No.
it's better than his last.
Good.
Better than
But
his
yeah,
last.
but it's dope.
You know?
It's still dope.
Lil
And by
Wayne's
last,
album
I mean
was
the one that
good.
came out in
But
December.
they're all dope. They're good dope albums. They're not
Yeah,
like
but like
they're not like wow.
Lupe's album's phenomenal. J.
Yeah.
Cole's album's not
I like
bad.
J-Rock's album. man.
J-Rock's album
Logic's
is really
album.
dope.
Yeah.
Logic's album is pretty banging. Wayne album's decent. Bun B's album's not bad.
Bun B.
Nicki,
again,
okay.
Royce's album, again,
Royce's album was dope.
potentially hip-hop album of the
That
year.
Black Thought joint was hot.
Black Thought was okay. Kids See Ghosts,
Yeah.
wasn't bad. The Nas album,
Nas joint was
eh. Daytona, not
I like
bad.
the Nas joint,
Yeah.
but it's like for a
Yeah.
Nas album, it's not, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just too
The
short.
Carter's
Too
joint,
short. He
yeah.
didn't
It
warm
wasn't
up yet. You know what I'm
phenomenal.
saying?
But at the end of the day,
He didn't warm
it's
up.
good
He
to
didn't get the
have.
engine
Imagine
started.
if we didn't have any of it.
Yeah,
That's true.
true.
I still
You
like
know,
2016.
the Ray
I did-
Shremmerd album,
I
you know,
did
was
appreciate
decent.
this year. I did
Yeah.
appreciate it, but I just
But I feel like there was more to appreciate this year than there was more to talk
and it was
shit on.
across the
And
board.
we haven't even talked about, for example, like the Cardi B's or you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah,
but
then
just
what
like I
about
could
all
ignore
the
that
artists
stuff.
that we're shitting on too.
Like who put out albums this year?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't think
I didn't really shit on nobody
Yeah.
this year.
T.I. just put out an album last week. That's not
Tip
bad.
Came, yeah.
And then
You know what I
Travis Scott
mean?
album.
Travis
so-
Scott album's
Yeah.
pretty good. So this has been a good year,
It has
man.
been a good year. I just don't
A
think really
good year
anyone's
for
putting out their
music,
best work.
specifically for
Yeah,
hip hop.
I
Like you're
think-
getting all these artists we love putting shit out.
I don't know.
but none
I
of them
think
putting
this.
out
I
their
think
best work.
this is Logic's setup album to potentially his next album being his best work. I think this is the
Actually,
album
I
that sets
personally
him up.
think this is Logic's best work.
I think his next album is going to be. I think this is the one where he showed people he can rap the way he's rapping about on this album.
Yeah.
So that the next album he has nothing to prove. He's already
Yeah.
proved himself. This is the one where he proved to someone like me. Like I never really. I still think he's kind of corny. Anything I see in an interview, I'm like, man, this kid's corny.
He just
But
needs
then
to quit the biracial talk.
whatever.
Well, it's
but this
hard,
album,
but
I took in the whole album. I was like,
he's
man,
gonna
this is
talk
a
about it,
great
man.
fucking album. So,
It's like M still talks about being white.
mm,
I guess that's true too.
And he's
good
not
point.
like, you know what I mean? I'm not
I've
saying,
never been one to rap about like
Yeah.
being white.
yeah,
You
but
might get the odd line here and there,
Yeah.
but like it's like why
Yeah.
state the obvious?
yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like
no, it's yeah.
No, it's
why
part
say
of
the
their identity,
obvious?
it's part of their even how.
I mean Eminem I can get it though, because
Yeah.
of where he came up in, but I
Yeah.
mean like it's 2018 now. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to keep mentioning.
Yeah.
What else has been good this year though, man? Like some other album. I know I'm forgetting something. Like I said, Ray Shremmerd put out a decent album that I wasn't mad
That's
at.
been popping this year.
Yeah, man.
That too, I'm forgetting J. Cole.
Cole, yeah,
People are
KOD.
saying Styles P and thing. didn't
I heard
know.
Oh
that.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Styles
I
P and
peeped
Dave
that, yeah.
East, right? I haven't had a chance
Yeah.
to peep that one yet. So like I'm saying, man, like we're at a point where it's like this year, especially for like old heads, it's like, man, you can complain, but there's quality that has been dropped
Yeah,
by our
there has
favorites, by the people that we grew up with, and you know what I mean? Like it hasn't been an oversaturated market where like it's just 6ix9ine and Cardi B. Yeah, that's on the radio, but man, you know what I'm saying? Like the albums that people are talking about, they're out there, they exist. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's been a good year for hip hop, man, and the year ain't even done yet.
Yeah.
You know,
We had that December rush.
yeah, and you know what's crazy?
He just
man,
made that Smiles and South Star album.
you know what I'm gonna say though? You know who else put out a dope album? And I would say it's like half of it. I could really feel and I see where this kid is gonna go is Denzel Curry. I think in my
I heard a
opinion,
lot of people saying this dude is like
yeah, his
Next.
Clout Cobain, in my opinion, best video of the year. Check that shit out if you haven't seen it yet. That, in my opinion, is the best fucking video this year. Like,
Right.
he killed it with that video. And, like, in a lot of stuff, it's like, I've been a fan of his for a couple years now. Since, like, ULT and a few of this other stuff, a couple albums that he did, like, in 2000, I think, like, 16 or 15 or whatever. I'm like, man, this kid's not bad.
yeah.
But, the album that he put out now, I'm like, okay, he's really trying to progress and curve or come around that curve into, like, talking a lot of positive shit, man. Talking a lot of change, get off these drugs, which is something that's really impressed me. A lot of these younger rappers are really kind of now getting on this get off the fucking perks, get off the lean tip.
Like,
you know
is it
what
Russ?
I mean?
I'm all for that, but I'm also up for other rappers
heard
to start
Russ in
admitting
second.
to your cocaine
Yeah.
addiction.
They have that thing that says
Yo,
Russ
if you
just
blow
went
lines,
platinum.
play the Prodigy card, man. That's all I'm saying.
Some do, man. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
But
want
it
to
is
have to
what it
listen
is.
to Ayo for Yayo every time I'm sniffing coke to relate. Like, come on, give me
Yeah.
something I can vibe with.
Man, but you gotta
I can
understand
fuck with
some
my
of these
beat,
guys.
fucking White
Listen.
Lines, what Quiet Storm is like the only joint.
If
Or fucking what's the one? I sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles, high on drugs.
if Jay-Z, for example, were to do coke and come out and say, yeah, I do cocaine, no, he would lose so much corporate sponsorship for that. Same thing with like a Kanye or Puffy.
Nowadays, I don't
You know
think
what I
so,
mean?
though,
Any of these
honestly.
dudes.
What about LL though? I bought the book that you wrote. Search the footnotes about how you used to sniff coke. Acting like a
Yeah.
drug-free role model, you disgust me.
Well,
I
he
know
was a-
bitches who seen you smoke weed
He did tell
recently.
me.
Man, you look at
Yo, shout
LL's
out to
body.
LL.
You look at
those lines, Playboy.
You look at LL and you can tell now the shape that this guy's in. The only drug that guy is on is fucking Trembol or Deca or whatever steroid, man. That guy is.
I think people gotta make more noise for LL.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
LL don't get the love he deserves.
Absolutely. LL is the epitome of a hip hop star. LL was the epitome of the rapper. Like if you had to design a perfect rapper to last the times from the time that kid was 14 to 50, it would be LL Cool J.
Hey.
Ain't nobody more perfect than that dude. You close your eyes and think of a rapper that, you know, say from the 80s into the 90s, whatever, it's LL Cool J, man.
You know what's crazy though? The next one up.
He dominated the 90s.
His silhouette would be the silhouette. Like his image would be the silhouette I would have on a poster for the movie that is Hip Hop, the biography. It would be LL Cool J's silhouette.
Because even
You know,
before,
you
Straight
guys
up.
might disagree, but do you know who followed LL Cool J's format the best? Fat Joe.
Think so?
yeah, I think so. He said it too. I think he said it.
I don't know if he ever said that, but just like to
Doing
be able to
tri-
stay relevant through
Oh,
so
yeah.
many
Yeah, he
generations
did.
and put out hit records, like
Fat Joe did do that.
it's
No
not just
denying.
about like surviving other generations.
He does
it's about putting
predate
out
Jay.
hit records.
Yeah.
He does
He
predate
predates Jay, and he's still putting
Yeah.
out like
Yeah.
All the Way Up is a more recent
Shout
hit
out
than
Fat
anything
Joe.
Joe's had.
Yeah. That's a big hit too.
Big.
It was I think in
That was a
2000
big hit.
2016 had a lot of bigger hits than this year.
Yeah,
There wasn't as much hits.
yeah, there wasn't as many hits this year. I
Yeah.
agree. And yo, can we please get the fucking Kiki song the fuck out?
Ah,
Like it's
that's here to stay.
no, man.
30 years from now,
Be good now.
30
Like,
years from now, motherfuckers will be
good.
60, 80 years old doing the Kiki dance.
I don't think she loves you, man. You keep
You gotta love how this guy took the New Orleans fucking bounce drums though at the end of that track and threw it on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I know this guy was down in New Orleans, like, yo, what's popping right now? And you know what I'm saying? When he did the Kiki songs, like, you need to throw in some of that bounce music,
I
bounce
thought it
drums
was
into
corny how
that.
he went to Holly Grove and shot it in front of the mural. I was like, it's just
Yeah.
so corny. This is like, no disrespect to Drake. I love Drake as a musician.
Shout
but,
out
like,
Drizzy.
a lot of his like music video things are like, you know, or worse behavior going down to fucking Memphis and like I don't know, just like
Well, he got the passes. So
Yeah,
yeah, you got the passes,
Yeah.
but does that mean you have to like flag it? You know what I mean? Like,
Sounds like you hating.
nah, Weezy can stop yelling Sue Woo, and same with Chris Brown. Like, you know, and all y'all like just focus on the music, like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
But that's the image, you know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is,
Yeah,
man.
but the
Like you
image is
said,
you.
you want some of these guys to talk about.
I like
what-
Drake when he's dancing around with fucking bearded orange haired dude from OVO at Shoppers Drug Mart and started from the bottom. Why is your next video like in like the most like pimp looking neighborhood in like Memphis with like, you know what I mean? It's just so like
Because like we talked about on a previous episode, when you make that money, you gotta affiliate yourself with certain people to make sure you don't get robbed by those people.
but
You know what I'm saying? Like that's his stamp of approval. That's his
Eminem's not shooting music
certification.
videos on Runyon Ave with Trick and all his boys behind him. You know what I mean? Like
Hey,
you
man,
don't
he
gotta
shot
do
some
all that.
shit
Like,
though.
you don't gotta do all
He's
that.
done his thing.
You
But
don't
it
gotta
is
do all that.
it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? But he's gotta shout out those people, you know, man.
I say the
Sometimes it's
same thing
easier.
if Kanye comes out with a video and fucking like Bibby and fucking Herbo are behind him with fucking AKs and a bunch of like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna say the same thing. I'd be
Doing
like,
the
Kanye,
Jews.
get the
He
fuck
kind
out.
of tried to do that shit when he did the remix of
When he did the train track video.
No, when he did the fucking that Chief Keef remix, and he threw
Yeah,
King
I thought
Louis and
that
all
track
those
was
guys on it.
horrible.
He threw King Louis and Pusha T and whatnot
Yeah,
on
no
that.
disrespect to, you know, Kanye or anybody.
What happened to that guy, man? Chief Keef, where's he at, man? I heard
Apparently
he's still doing
6ix9ine was
shit.
on O Block.
He's still doing shit.
I know he's doing something. Is he has like something right now has like a real like kind of electronic type vibe to it. So he doesn't sound like Chief Keef from 6-7 years ago, which is kind of weird because he's still mad young. He's still in his early
Do you know who
20s.
else doesn't sound like the same as like when they were popular?
Who's that?
David Banner and T-Pain.
Oh, for sure,
They
man.
both elevated their styles a lot.
Yo, T-Pain
Yeah,
can sing
T-Pain's
without.
dope, man.
Yo, if you ever heard
Yeah.
T-Pain
And he
without
can
the autotune,
spit.
that
He
guy
can
can
spit.
sing. Yeah.
It's big.
He's
Shout out
retarded,
T-Pain,
man.
man. Shout out
T-Pain is
T-Pain.
underrated because of
He's dope, man.
Bartender's a
Shit.
dope track. I like that song, man. Nah, T-Pain's one of those dudes like, yo, people wanted to clown on that guy, but he was pumping out hit after hit after hit. Same thing with Akon. I had no
Yo,
faith.
Akon is
I looked at
bro.
Akon, I'm like, yo, this guy ain't gonna do shit. And Akon just put out hit after hit after hit after hit. And I'm like, yo, word, shout out Akon, man. Ain't even mad at this guy right now. You know, he's actually,
he,
if I'm not
like,
mistaken, responsible for Lady Gaga, or at least helped facilitate Lady Gaga's career.
Actually, you are correct.
Yeah.
So
Yes, you are correct.
shout out that he also helped facilitate T-Pain's career. Cardi as well. Yeah,
Did
Cardi
he
was
help
signed.
Cardi?
Yeah.
Convict Music.
Yeah.
Oh, Cardi now. See,
Yeah.
when people say Cardi,
Yeah.
I think of Cardi B.
I used to always just think of Cardinal, but now
Yeah,
I'm at the
we
point
got
where I think
it.
of Cardi B. That's a bad.
Cardi needs to come back
That's a
out.
bad.
Cardi needs to come back out.
You
think-
All this reggaeton / reggae dancehall.
Yeah, it's suited for him. This time it's suited
when
for
he was
him.
doing that
What is he
shit, there was no
doing?
wave for that.
Yeah.
Now it's time. It's been time.
Why has
Where do
Major
we rate
Lazer
all-time killing
It's a
in
big
classic
up
Toronto
there.
song?
Big show,
Up
yeah.
there?
Up there.
Top
up there.
10.
Top 5,
Top 10.
Yeah, it depends. It depends what's in the top 10 or
Top
5.
10.
top 3.
Top 10.
It depends.
Like impact everything. Like think that song, you still go to a club in Toronto and that shit'll come on and people still.
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on the list because the list is gonna vary with different people.
Yeah.
Maestro probably. No, I can't even say Maestro, but I would say Drake, or at least one Drake song.
Yeah.
Is gonna be
Yeah.
number one.
Probably start from the bottom.
Could be.
It could be.
It could be a lot of shit.
It could
Drake
be a
has
lot
that
of shit.
catalog,
Yeah.
right? But then
You can say start from the bottom, let your backbone slide,
Yeah.
and Northern Touch.
Northern Touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like
My
Northern Touch.
definition-
Northern Touch is like international though.
Yeah.
Well, not international,
Yeah.
but like
But just as far as what
West
it did for
Coast.
like the Canadian hip hop scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It you know what I'm saying? Like it,
Yeah.
it
I'm just
at that
saying,
time,
like,
and that's the thing, like you were too young to remember, and I know you were probably old to remember.
Yeah.
At that time, we were saying something like pre-Drake, 10 years before Drake. At this particular time, dudes were actually saying, so we're getting write-ups in the source. You know
I
what I'm
remember
saying?
this
We
shit.
were,
Why am I too young? The first Cardi video I ever seen was Hustling on Much Music at
Yeah.
2:45 in the afternoon
Yeah.
when I left school sick one
Yeah.
day.
I'm
They didn't
pretty sure
even
like
play that shit fucking like on normal time. I seen that back
I think
by
Northern Touch-
Firestarter 3 years later when he finally put it on an
Yeah.
album.
yeah, but Northern
That was
Touch
just a
came out
single.
well before
Yeah.
Hustling. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't
What
for
did?
Northern Touch came out well before Hustling.
No, I'd say they
But-
probably date each other pretty closely.
But he has stuff way before that. Too.
Yeah, he did. He had On With The Show.
Naughty Dread.
Yeah, he had a
Bunch of
few,
songs.
but like Northern Touch was just like when it came out, like at the time it was a build up to that, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you mentioned before, like Saw Guy was one of the people.
Rascals had already been out,
Rascals,
too.
which was again, a lot of the people behind it was people behind the scenes that really helped push it to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to that particular level, the management that was around at that time. But again, we had some DJs who were putting out mixtapes that were on par, and
Maybe
they were
Blue
able
Sound
to.
Crew?
Not even just be
Mastermind.
Mastermind.
Oh,
X.
Mastermind.
They were able to put out mixtapes where they were taking the Canadian dudes, putting them right beside the American dudes, and they were selling them down at all these mom and pop shops like butter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Until
At
the
the time-
cops are started
right,
raiding.
and then the cops came and raided because the labels didn't understand what these tapes were doing. All they saw was our music's getting put
Yeah.
out here for free. They didn't understand, like, yo, but this is promoting Canadian rappers on a level. When they did that, yo, that almost killed the Canadian hip hop scene
Yeah.
until damn near Drake came out. That's why JD Era, Rich London, a lot of these guys who were the generation before, you
Yeah.
know, then you start looking at, say other
Empire,
rappers.
Cyrus.
Right, they didn't sell the way they could have, you know what I mean? Because things were so hot and then they got so fucking cold for so long before Drake came out and was able to blow bass off or whatever.
Who was the last dude to really like from Toronto to like utilize like the system of Much Music working and stuff before it all kind of like went down the
The
barrel?
last
Just
one or the
I'd
last
say
few?
Cardi,
Bishop.
Cardi Socks,
Nah, just a lot of them.
Cardi
Who
Socks,
really
Really
came
making-
out after Bishop though?
A
Like,
lot of
with like,
people, man.
Juice, Rochester,
Man,
you
Juice is
know.
one of the
but
big
really
ones.
like rocking that fucking much dial. Like, you
A
know, I'm
lot,
not talking
but-
about your video being
a
up there
lot,
sometimes,
Man,
but like,
There was-
you mean getting,
like Bish was on there regular.
you talking
Once
about getting
they-
the funding or actually?
Not
Once
just
they
the
have much
funding, but like
vibe.
the vibe that followed it. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Bish was on there
Well,
regularly.
well, what
Sunreal.
year-
The
what-
next one,
Sunreal.
Sunreal
You
did
can
utilize
say
that.
Cadence
Sunreal.
Weapon.
Cadence Weapon and Sunreal, but I would say more so
much
Sunreal.
music like that.
Well, but regardless of you rock you much music or not, you're still getting the money to put the fucking video
Yeah.
out.
yeah,
It really depends on your frequency.
I would say Sunreal.
Right.
Sunreal was the last.
Sunreal.
You think?
Class.
I could agree with that.
Class.
wasn't even getting that much music love,
Dude,
though.
Class got so much music love.
At a
Class
certain
progressively.
point.
You see,
They
the
did.
weird thing with Class is the only rapper that I seen where it's like he came out and nobody gave a fuck, and he just kept getting better and better and better
Yeah.
to the point where he put out Maritime. It was like boom, and then all of a sudden he put out Oh Canada, and he topped Maritime. dude, he was a fucking Much
But
Music.
what about
Love,
members?
they love
too?
them.
They
Swollen
like
members,
that.
swollen, yeah, for a particular
Swollen
time.
members
But again,
were
look who were,
last huge-
look who were
Yeah.
they were associated with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had the right management. You know what I mean? Anybody who was under, I'm pretty sure they were they not Saw Guy as well or no?
I don't know who they were, but
I don't think they were, but they were affiliated through like Nelly Furtado and
yeah,
you know what I mean.
You know, but
That whole-
utilizing Much Music.
Yeah,
is
let's
one
make some
thing.
fucking
Nelly
noise for
Furtado was another
Furtado.
one. Yeah.
But we're talking hip hop here.
Yeah,
But people don't
still.
understand too. Like Much Music played a big hand in making some of
Or
those
even
people
Born and Raised in
blow
the
the way
Ghetto
they
Point
did.
Blank is
Yeah.
like one of the last
Yeah.
real Toronto representing songs that are
Yeah.
really getting heavy play.
Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't have much vibe, if you had much vibe, there was
That's
some that got a
another
lot
thing
of
too.
play too.
Vibe was only on a couple times a week. I'm talking about like
No, they had an
introduction.
actual channel. They had a Much Vibe
Oh,
channel.
yeah,
on
okay,
Friday
yeah,
channel,
Yeah,
right?
so more people got more
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's hard to say like
Yeah, you're right. I
which
forgot
is the
about
last
Much Vibe.
one because there's never been the last one.
Yeah.
It's been-
And shout out to Master T because
Yeah.
Master T played a
Yo.
big hand.
yeah.
And I think Much Music fucked up by not letting him man the helm on the Much Vibe channel.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that's why he left the network. He was like, yeah, I want to man the
Why
helm on this.
I would
And
fucking leave too.
Yeah,
Because
because
he
he was
started
the
it, man.
one. He's the one who.
Make some
If it
noise for
wasn't-
George
yeah.
Strombo, Master T.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Mark.
Yeah. If it wasn't for
I
extended
mean,
mix,
it's them, man. Sook and Lee.
shit. If it wasn't for
Sook was dope
extended
too,
mix,
man.
We
man.
fuck with Rick the Temp though.
Yeah, yeah.
What the
Matt
hell is he
Babel. Yeah,
Campanelli,
yeah.
at?
Cappuccino.
Him and Matt Babel. Matt Babel was dope as hell too, man.
I don't even remember Matt Babel.
Oh, it's empty. He
Remember
was.
Speaker's Corner though?
Yeah,
that
Speaker's
shit was
Corner
dope.
was mad innovative, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to anybody who's old enough to remember Speaker's Corner in Toronto. Basically, if you don't remember it, what it was a booth that was beside Much Music, which is 299 Queen Street West. And you could go in that booth and just pop in $1 and air your grievances, do whatever you want.
That's
And
how
yo,
Bare Naked Ladies
That's
got big.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was gonna say. They got signed off of fucking Speaker's
The
Corner. They
Speaker's
went
Corner,
in and
yeah.
if I had $1 million and they played that shit and someone liked it enough where they got signed. Toronto used to be mad innovative, and we
Yeah.
still are.
And we have
still
like,
are, but
there's
we
so much
had our
history,
own.
but it's all just
Yeah.
like been abolished by fucking Virgin Radio and
Yeah.
fucking all these.
Nah, they didn't
Foreign-
abolish it. They didn't abolish it, man.
Well, it
it
kinda
was,
go- it
it was
takes two to
abolished.
tango.
No, it was abolished. Basically,
They
after
abolished
Drake,
themselves.
Capitalism, man.
after Drake made it. Because
No, I wouldn't even say.
no, it's not because of Drake.
Yeah.
It's because look, if you speak to anybody at a certain age, and you ask them about what happened 5-10 years ago, even 10 years ago, before Drake,
Yeah,
most people have no idea unless they were in that scene.
yeah.
As soon as Drake made it,
Yeah.
and continued making it,
Yeah,
that history between Maestro, even Choclair, and after Choclair to
Yeah.
Drake is literally forgotten about.
no, I feel that,
And
but
it's-
also a big
yeah.
part of that is kind of what Maloney said with the Virgin Radio thing.
But
You
Virgin
have- you
Radio
have, like
didn't come until what year? Like 2000 and what? 2010?
2010, but what Virgin Radio is the same thing as like Chorus or whatever. You basically have Bell and you have Rogers
Yeah.
owning a monopoly on the radios, whereas
but the thing
15,
is-
20
but
years
this
ago
is the
you didn't
thing.
necessarily have that monopoly, so you
But
don't have
you always
national
did, but you
playlists.
always had that shit.
No, not necessarily.
No, you did.
Not national playlists.
Okay.
You have more localized
but this
playlists,
is
right?
the thing, right? If you look at Chum,
Yeah,
which at the time City TV and Chum were run,
right. Which doesn't
Now-
really exist anymore.
but no, Chum still exists. City
Okay.
TV still exists.
right,
or
but not the way they
CT24.
did.
They still keep the image, but the problem is Bell took them over.
Right.
So those
And they
Moses never
killed.
sold out.
No.
that's-
Yeah.
And not
Okay.
sold out, he got rid of his shit.
Yeah. He
Right?
made his money. and
But
he did his
CTV
thing.
was always there.
And what did they do when Bell took over? Because remember, I worked at Bell. Bell axed almost everything.
Yeah.
All the specialty channels that Chum had, from Sex TV,
Yeah.
fucking Much Vibe,
Yeah.
Retro,
Yeah.
Loud, like all of them just got the axe.
Yeah.
All of them just got cut off, and they
Yeah.
deaded all those channels.
Right? But that's the thing. When a corporate entity decides to eat up another entity,
Right.
they will make their decisions.
And that's what I'm saying. Though, by doing that, though, by cutting down on all those things, even Much Music,
Yeah.
completely changing the format of Much Music.
But a
Yo,
lot
the
of things change.
platforms that
But
were
think
there
about
aren't
it.
there
And
anymore.
you gotta remember, they're looking at what's going on in America.
Mm.
And MTV changed its format.
Right.
So
right.
I remember CTV had MTV Canada.
Yes, they did.
So you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right
okay,
here.
we're gonna listen to the American affiliates, what they're doing. Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna do the same thing.
No, I feel you. I feel
And
you.
reality TV and all that shit became
Now, part of that can be blamed on YouTube as well, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit around and wait all day
But
for a
YouTube
particular music
helped.
video when I can watch it.
helped
Yeah.
the RC.
Oh, absolutely.
It kept it alive.
I mean, it did. Yes, it helped it, and then you'll say it allows us to facilitate a lot of localized shows, but we don't get the national viewership, for example.
You do.
That
You're
would come along with
international,
it.
bro.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it still meant something to have your music video be
I know
in
that,
the
but-
top
but
30
it-
on much
it means
music. You know what I'm saying? It meant
But
it meant in-country sponsorship and in-country touring
but now,
money.
though, but now
It meant factored grants.
Yes, but now, and for the past few years,
Yeah,
it means more to be on YouTube to be on any
It
platform.
kind of does. You know, I'm gonna agree.
The problem is, this is the problem I'm saying. The before Drake thing,
right?
Is because that decade before Drake,
Yeah.
all the rappers that were on YouTube, it was a new format.
Right.
So they didn't get the recognition that they could have got now.
It's kind of what yeah.
Right? And it's not Drake's fault. It's technological change.
Kind of technology, it's kind
Right.
of time, it's kind of
Yeah.
the record labels didn't put themselves
Yeah.
in a position to
I call
capitalize.
that generation like maybe the 2002 to 2010.
Yeah.
Literally the last generation of Toronto.
Oh, for sure.
It's not because they're lost.
For
It's
sure.
that most people don't know who Empire is.
Right.
Most people don't know who.
Right.
I can even who's Mayhem. Even though regardless, people
Rich
don't.
London, JD.
We can go on.
Eras
There's a
and-
list of so many rappers that were out.
Yeah.
That okay. Even
Captain
Rogers,
Hook.
Yeah.
And,
A whole bunch of that's Harvey, right?
Yeah.
What happened to Harvey
And
Stripes?
Harvey Stripes. You know,
But there's a list of them. There was a lot.
guys who were getting
rappers in
factor
Toronto.
money. Guys who were getting factor money, and absolutely no. I
It was
fully
wide
agree.
open. So even
I
if
fully
you didn't
agree.
get that much exposure on fucking much music, you still got the money to make the fucking video.
Yeah.
You still got the money to do this and do that and the other thing, right? So it's just we got to work with what's happening right now.
No, and I agree because now you have the ability where you don't need to be backed by a major label to actually blow. You can make your product and get international distribution just putting it up on Spotify and Tidal and iTunes now. So in that sense, it's great. But with kind of that, if you were one of the lucky ones to get those grants and whatnot, it almost, I don't want to say guaranteed, but it would at least get you a national tour if need be or whatnot. You know what I mean? So now it's easier to get your music out, but it's harder, I would say, to kind of like get it all the way across the country.
But now you can get it across the world, man. Like
you kind of can.
look at the
You kinda
numbers.
can. I'm not gonna
like,
lie.
Think about it like this, right?
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll
You
use
kinda
Killy.
can.
I'll use Killy for example.
Yeah.
Before
Those
he
kids are
started
killing
getting
it.
them numbers. Who the fuck was Killy? I didn't know who the fuck Killy was.
Right,
I never,
right.
We don't know any part of his. Like basically, I think you guys were saying it too. Like some of the guys are getting a lot of numbers in Toronto.
Yeah.
You never see them at shows. They
Right.
never built up their.
Yeah, they're
their,
never part of the scene.
Yeah,
they
they're
just
never out here at
ended
the
up
shows
being
that
on
we're at and-
YouTube and you know
Yeah.
whatever persona, whatever
Yeah.
got them those numbers, and now what? You know what I mean? So they're getting popular and international recognition.
Right.
Just from YouTube.
But locally.
And that's bigger. That's bigger than fucking
Yeah.
what much music can ever give them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And locally, they have notoriety. Like that, even
Yeah.
that Griselda Blanco
Give me a
record.
second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Playing
I walk
Zoom
down the
too.
street and I hear people playing Griselda Blanco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Shout out
say
to
a
Zoom
word. I'm hearing this fucking record on people's cars. I'm
they're not capitalizing off
I'm
it.
getting requests for those records. I remember 2 years ago, all I used to hear people get Presser. I never knew who Presser was before.
Yeah.
And then I went, oh, this is the kid that all these younger kids are following.
Yeah.
And he wasn't on fucking much music. He wasn't on fucking radio.
No.
Yeah,
So-
show the presser.
And
Actually get requests.
that's the whole point.
For that dude.
YouTube's opening doors for even a lot more local artists than all these fucking media outlets could ever
Yeah.
do. So fuck all of those media outlets.
Well, what do you think is more important though? Gatekeepers and quality control, or free
They
market
don't.
and everyone
They
do
don't
yourself?
exist no more. Gatekeepers.
Yeah,
don't exist no
gatekeepers,
more.
we kind of had that conversation before. Like, dude, yeah, they don't really exist to that
They
extent
don't,
anymore.
but what-
I think if
What
anything,
made a better playing field? Gatekeepers and quality control, or an open field like we have now?
But was there really quality control?
Well, no, because some people weren't that dope and they got put on.
I think an
Exactly.
open field is better only because in an open field, the cream is going to rise to the top.
Yeah.
No matter what. You're going to have a lot of shit that's going to come through and people are going to gravitate towards that shit, but eventually the cream will rise to the top. And when you have gatekeepers, sometimes people are looking at like, I don't like that. A perfect example, Russell Simmons wasn't feeling Nas, for example,
Yeah.
when they were shopping
Yeah.
Nas's demo around. And now Russell Simmons later on is like, oh man, that's the kid from Queens that got away.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But he couldn't see the image at that
Fat
time
Joe-
where
Fat
someone
Joe
else
got
could
it.
have, right?
Missed out
So,
on
Yeah.
It's like that's what happens. People who was the guy who said he missed out on Drake? I forgot who it was. And even Wayne, they said Wayne didn't like Drake.
A lot of people
T.I.
like
said he
him,
missed
right?
out on Drake.
Yeah, a lot of even the guy. What's the guy's name, man? the guy from 300 Records.
Leo Cole?
Yeah, you
Okay.
Corey
Yep,
missed
yep.
out on it. So
Yep.
a lot of people miss out on a lot of artists. It's just
Facts.
what it is. And Drake and Wiz, they're like products of fucking MySpace social media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know
absolutely.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
The internet gave people such an opportunity to fucking make it.
Yeah. And a
Without
lot of
all these
people,
corporate structures.
a lot of people too, man, it's like, I mean, people don't get the opportunity to grow. You know, when you're coming up and there's like quote unquote gatekeepers, it's not like 20 years ago where they say, okay, you know what, we want you to grow as an artist, we're gonna send you to France, you know, go live out there and experience
that's
some
what
shit.
it says.
Now it's just like, hey man, you don't have this, we don't like it, blah blah blah, we're out.
Yeah.
But again, if it's an open field and you're out there actually developing your craft, then hopefully you can rise up to the top. But at the same time, it is very frustrating if you are a very well versed musician artist who can, you know, pretty much do all these things and you're getting overlooked. So it is
Yeah.
kind of like, it's weird, man. You know what I'm saying? I had a teacher who he said, you know what I'm saying, like, your business is art or is your art a business?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you got to know the
Big up
difference.
Vic, man.
Shut up, Vic Sinclair,
I hope
man.
he's still alive.
Oh, absolutely. He's on Facebook.
Yeah,
That's my
tell
guy.
him
We
what's
have
up.
dope
I'm
talks
Vic,
all the
man.
time, man. Please don't say that, man.
No, because I haven't seen him do it in so long.
Okay.
That guy was one of the
Vic,
best
he's like my mentor.
music business
Yeah.
teachers you could ever fucking have.
I would love to get him in here whenever.
What's his number one fucking phrase? Do your due diligence.
No, mate. No. Yeah, but
Which
you know
one
what
of
the first
them?
thing he taught
Yeah.
me was? It's not who you know, it's who knows you.
Exactly.
Hey.
So there's a lot of different
That's
ways to
facts.
play this,
That's
you know what I'm
facts.
saying? And it's like, you know, work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things that you could really incorporate and whatnot. And you could be the best artist, but if you're not working on your business, ain't nobody checking for your art.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a perfect example, that's Master P. It should suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, shut up, P. I love you, business.
His
shit.
business is
Some of your stuff is dope. Bout it. I'll throw bout it on and go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But he's great with his business, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I think, you know what I'm saying, like, I gotta step my game up. And that's where, like, if you might notice, 2018, like, we're doing this, but I've been doing a lot of stuff online 2018 because I decided, you know, I'm gonna work on my music and really, you know what I'm saying, bust my ass on it, but I want to step up my online presence because this is where the business is at.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is just getting comfortable on camera for
Yeah.
what's gonna come 2019, 2020.
People are getting deals
Exactly.
I feel you
man.
like completely. Like to me, it was when Chris Jackson actually got rocked. Shout out
Yeah.
to him. He sent it to me maybe like a year ago,
Mhm.
and I'd already been on this path building media content.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, but you know, and my goal was at that time, which it still is, but it's like a year past now either way. Will be the Vlad TV of Canada.
Yeah.
I can
with the
see
5
that.
years,
Yeah.
you know what
I can see that,
Wow,
man.
all the content. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
I
the
can
goal,
see that.
right?
You're gonna be asking them interrogation questions.
No,
huh?
not like that. You know what I mean?
No, but I feel I get what you're
But
saying.
like-
You're already working towards that. You got
Yeah.
a lot of great interviews, and you're working
And
towards
yeah,
being
like
that guy.
build the foundation
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, right. Like that's kind of the goal is like to be the top. You know what I mean? Like the most respected, well revered.
Absolutely.
But so like that was already kind of like a goal plan. But like Chris said to me the one night, like I was playing him some, or I can't remember what we were saying. We were just having a conversation. He's like, yeah, man. He's like you're a good MC. He's like, but I think you're like your jackpot, like where you're gonna flourish is in media.
Right,
And
right.
once he said that to me, because he's always kind of been like my mentor too, right?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
seen so many decades in this game, and once he said that to me, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
that's where I'm putting my eggs in the basket. I'll still make
Absolutely.
music, I'll still
Of
tour,
course.
I'll still go out there get my name out, but my focus is now, you know, I spend 80% of my time of the week editing videos,
Okay.
not writing raps. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Okay.
This is the first verse I wrote in 2 weeks.
See, I
Yeah,
gotta
right.
I gotta do a little bit more because I have so much content to start editing, and I have the ability to do it now. I just gotta actually just do it now, and you know, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
get more into it. But that's the thing, you know, what I'm saying, like I'm seeing this as the path. Multimedia is
Yeah,
kind of like
it is what
the
it is,
path,
man.
and you know,
Yeah.
we start here. Like even first thing I said to you when I came, you know, rolling up, was like, hey man, I know a way that we could make what we're doing right now even better.
Better, yeah.
So you know, within the next few months. After saying that, we're gonna take the steps to make this even better, where
Yeah.
we can start doing the cuts and the edits live on the fly. Have a
Yeah.
producer here, turning this into something that's so super professional that it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that's bomb. You know what I mean? And it's always about growing and improving and whatnot. But that's what it is. You know, multimedia is kind of where we're going. And you know, my thing is like, I want to do the music, but I also want to facilitate avenues for other people. You know,
Yeah.
and it, you know, kind of a conversation that I had with you and a few other people. Like you said, if I'm not mistaken, that I kind of gave you your first show here in Toronto.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I didn't even really realize that I had done that for so many people. When I thought back to how many people have said that to me, it's like, damn,
Yeah.
okay, well, how can I keep that moving forward?
Yeah.
Keep it hip hop in the
Yeah.
future. you know, whether it's with this or, you know what I'm saying, helping create maybe an avenue to show people how we could kind of like do the podcasting thing, or just make it so that, you know, fuck, I could manage Shaolin in like 5 years or something, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, just keep it moving forward, growing it, keeping the ball, or staying on the ball, moving towards the next thing. And I think in all honesty, like, multimedia, interactive podcasting, just being online and you know what I'm saying, like interacting with people. This is definitely the wave of the future. This is where it's at. And you know, shout out to Chris, shout out to people for letting us use the spot. But this is definitely the time where, you know, if we're getting comfortable here like this, you know what I mean, then we're gonna be able to do so much more a year from now. And shout out to you know what I'm saying, like shout out to was it Friday Ricky Dredd, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, like he's so comfortable. Yeah, we love hip hop. I love that show, you know what I mean? Those guys are so comfortable with what they're doing, and you know what I mean, and I'm proud to see that those guys have been really growing with their product.
Mike originally on that show?
Yeah, for a short time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo,
but you see what it is though.
There's no clout to speak, man.
Hey.
I love for the longest.
That's behind the scenes.
I know. I didn't know. I did it a fucking day. I still don't want to do a podcast.
We got 5 minutes.
But I've been offered how many times to do fucking podcasts? I've been saying no, motherfucking no. Because people are too fucking sensitive.
Yeah.
As we seen on, you know.
Yeah.
No, people hear shit. They don't hear everything. They're like, why the fuck did you say that? And it's like, no, we didn't even say that.
Yeah.
But, you know, people, you know. And that's why,
What made you change your tone with us then?
Well, me and Dustin been talking about for a minute.
Yeah, we were trying to facilitate something like a year and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
I remember you mentioning that because
Yeah.
when me and you were talking, I was like, a person I think would be really good is Mike Stone. You're like, me and him have been talking.
Yeah.
Ironically, with another one of my friends named Mike as well.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be the producer, and we just couldn't, you know, saying we couldn't do that.
We couldn't meet. Like, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
But outside of that, there's been like Ricky hit me up. Fucking a whole bunch of people hit me up. And I was like, nah, I'm not really interested in that. You know, I know how people interact on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't want that smoke. Meaning that I'll fuck with people, but I know they're gonna fucking want to fuck with me a certain way.
Yeah.
And then I want to fuck, and it's gonna turn nasty. So I'm just like, fuck that shit. But you know, I've done a few podcasts. I remember we did one with Mindbender.
Shout out
my
Mindbender.
boy Paul. Sorry, Paul, I forgot your last name. I know you're running for trustee.
Hey.
Which is cool, education trustee.
That's dope. That's
but
really
he has a
dope,
podcast
man.
called The Dark Room.
Shut up, Paul.
And yeah, it was a good time. We talked a lot about the scene and, of course, Drake because, you know, etc.
Every conversation I feel like goes to Drake.
Of course.
Yeah.
We should make like a swear jar, but anytime one of us
Say
mentions
Drake,
mentions
yeah.
Drake,
we have to put change in the jar.
Yeah, so it is what it is. The podcasts are cool. I watch a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think
that's the reason why I did,
I listen to more podcasts than I even do music.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of podcasts
And I
at this
almost
point.
judge podcast opinions on what albums to peep first. and
Yeah.
what, you know what I mean?
Well, that said, you know, and I've said it a few times on the show, rest in peace, Combat Jack, because he was one of the dudes who really started the hip-hop podcasting, and it's really unfortunate the way, you know what I'm saying, he passed away, like, not too long ago. Because, again, like, his show kind of set the precedent for a lot of the guys to come, whether it's Drink Champs or whether it's Buttons or, you know, any of this stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, I can't think of anyone who kind of did it before Combat Jack.
Well, like,
show.
Button was doing his, like, Joe Budden TV
He was
shit,
doing
but
that
it was, like,
stuff,
a mix,
yeah.
though. It wasn't like...
Yeah. He was doing it, you know, and those things like that and whatnot. But, you know,
Button was one of the first dudes to really utilize the internet, actually.
He kind of was, I mean, in that particular sense.
Chuck D as well.
Chuck D, yo. Matter of fact, true story, how I found, you know, or started hearing Eminem, there was this dude, you know, he had this site called Some Ish I Wrote After a Common Song.
Oh, yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, so he had a site, he was only about 2 years older than me or so, and his name was David Ellis, and he was down in, I believe, in Jersey. And he used to post MP3s before they were even really called MP3s. So he posted up Brain Damage and Just Don't Give a Fuck. And you know what I'm saying? I remember bumping this. I'm like, yo, he sounds crazy. Who the fuck is it? And this was around the time that Last Emperor was also signed to Aftermath.
Oh, Last Emperor was dope.
Yeah, right? So again, this is before anybody knew like who Eminem was, other than quarter page ads in the source that only said Eminem. Didn't even have him on the pathway with Haley or whatever yet.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, he started posting stuff up, and I fell in love with, you know, like Eminem at that time because it was just a crazy shit. But this dude's site was so dope because he would also write a blog every Friday, Some Ish I Wrote.
Yeah.
So he would just talk about his opinions or whatever, and it was so cool in like 98, 99 to see someone who's, you know, maybe a couple years older than me doing this online. But rest in peace to him because he actually died, I think it was like 2002.
Oh, wow.
He had like a shitty landlord. He went to school in Virginia and he had a shitty landlord and he died in an apartment fire. So rest in peace to him. But I always credit that dude as like an unsung hero in hip hop. I mean, if he had lived, I'm pretty sure he would have went on to become like a real gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he would have been one of those dudes
Those
where his
media
opinion.
personalities.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be all over YouTube right now on
Maybe
Noisy
he'd
or
have
whatever it
academic
was,
spot
or
on it. He'd struggle.
Exactly.
something like that. You know what I mean? Because he
Kinda
was just
whack.
he was super
Hey.
opinionated, and to see a teenager so passionate, super opinionated, posting MP3s before any of these MP3 sites ever existed.
Yeah.
And, you know, writing a weekly blog about it, like it was mad dope to see that. We used to like just write emails and just interact about certain stuff. I was putting him onto some rock music and stuff
Oh
at that
shit,
time.
right?
Yeah, and it was just, you know, eventually I didn't check on him for a while, and eventually went back to the site and like, yo, rest in peace, Dave. Like, what happened?
damn.
And you know, eventually found out what happened and whatnot. But
Crazy,
yeah,
man.
that was one of those sites that really just kind of like,
Life is crazy, man.
you know what I mean?
Word.
That was one of the earliest. That predates all hip hop. A lot of
All
those
that
sites.
shit.
Yeah, predates a lot of those hip hop sites, man. Sumish I wrote. Rest in
Word.
peace, Dave Ellis.
So it's time to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. This isn't the no condom show. Wrap it up, folks.
Well, we no condom show. We don't wrap things up.
No, apparently you don't. But we
Yo,
wrap
one
it up
thing I
here.
gotta do, man, before we sign out, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say R.I.P. to Dre, man.
Oh
Hey,
yes.
Definitely,
Rest in
man.
peace. Rest in peace to Andre Guy. Amazing artist. You know, you might have seen his work in Kensington Market. You might have seen his work, you know, Queens Spadina, other places around the city. You might have seen some of his other work. Just a great human being, you know what I mean?
Very
And
dope person, man.
unfortunately, a hit and run happened the other night, and he leaves, I believe, a daughter and a wife, and you know that's really sad. You know, but his work, man, he was not, I don't want to say the black Andy Warhol of Toronto. He was Toronto's Andy Warhol. You know what I'm saying? Like, his work had that same impact. Like, he understood pop culture and society, and you could see that in his artwork. You know what I mean? Like, that shit touched me. Anytime I see his artwork, I would just stop and just look at that shit and like, and I see a lot of art, but it's very rare that something could make me stop and just look at it and take it in. Be like, I get where he was coming from with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was Toronto's Andy Warhol, and it really sucks that he went. You know, so rest in peace to that
Rest in
dude,
peace.
man.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy, man.
That's another episode of Toronto Talk.
Yeah. Really quickly before we go, man. DJ Caribbean Sunset tomorrow night,
Hey.
753 Queen Street East.
Clout.
Come on out, man. Plus, I got my birthday show coming up November 9th. We about to go hard with the promo on that.
Yeah.
Were you DJing anywhere this week? Anything like that? Any parties going on?
What's going on? Hapa on College Street.
Okay.
It's a Japanese spot. So if you like sake, like I do, come through. There's no covering shit.
When's that at?
This Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yeah,
What
man.
time?
We 10 till 2. 10
Okay.
till 2:30.
I might show
That
up.
happens live, man.
Okay.
And I'll be at Christina Aguilera's concert.
Yeah.
Shout out Glad Pie, homie. We see you. We
Hey.
love you. That's what's up, homie. Toronto Talks, Maximum FM, Hip Hop Radio.
We are.
We out. One love, guys. Peace. I don't know what happened here. Yeah, let's stop.